G'day, how are you?
Hi there.
Well, welcome to the madhouse. Oh dear, it's been one of those weeks. I'm trying to get the sound right. Does that sound good? I'm not blowing your eardrums out or anything?
Mm-hmm.
Just got to change the screen in front of me and shut the door. Bob's in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Theo and Steve's stream. We're doing woodwork. I'll go and turn the lights on in a minute so you can have a little bit more light so you can see what we're doing. Have good show planned today. Got no idea what we're going to do. I just got to change some settings here. But let me open this and see what's happening.
I think
Senor! Will we see Puppy today? Yes!
Yeah, no doubt.
Serial horror fan. We hopefully will. He's been in and out whilst we've been doing this, and he's gone quiet, but I just gave him some food, so he'll be back. Guaranteed. I'm just checking some settings here, because I've got screens everywhere. Clocker, g'day, mate. Oh, fine. Okay, go on. No, hello, Theo. I don't get mentioned. Hello, Theo. Yeah, good on you.
Oh, yeah, it's good to be back.
Ask him where his tools are. It's a sad story, but it's all good. We're all back and we're all looking forward to it. I think that's better. I can see that there. We've got that there. What else do we need up? We've got no idea what we're going to be doing today. We sort of got an idea and then it sort of didn't work. Oh, interesting. Clocker wants to know where your tools are, Theo.
Oh, they just happen to be in Melbourne. But don't mention the war.
No, don't mention this particular company that really couldn't survive.
They've been good.
They couldn't survive as a transport company. I'm trying to, how do I get rid of that one? Ah, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Am I looking at that right? There you go. What kind of air filtration system do you use in a shop? It's called a door and a window. Wilson.
What? What's you talking about, Steve?
That's true. It's a door and a... See, it's only when Theo comes up here and he sands that we make dust. Apart from that, I make shavings.
I try to make shavings. That's the goal. None of us really want to make dust.
So nothing to pull the dust off the lathe, no, mate. We rely on gravity for that. I'm just turning some lights on.
Sometimes when Steve's not looking, I actually cut my hand over the work while I'm sanding.
He does sneaky stuff.
It does help a bit with the lights on.
It does.
But they're going to flicker for a
bit.
They're going to flicker
for a bit, but they just pretend you're in an 80s disco and you'll be good. Whoops, bang, crash.
I'm starting to
halfway through doing things. Ah, dear, oh dear.
So how did you cope without me, Steve?
Mate, when weren't you here?
Did you get a lot done?
When was that?
Last Saturday.
Weren't you here last Saturday?
You didn't know this?
Oh, dear.
No, the Melbourne Wood Show went fantastically. We had great crowds, lots of bright eyes, and everybody was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, lots of smiles, good crowds, and in fact, I still had a crowd at 4:15. It finished at 4, but everybody was still there looking at the little Banksia mushroom that I turned, and they just had a really.
So what are you saying? You prefer to be in Melbourne now?
And the amount of timber that got bought, it was amazing. There are that many woodies out there, and everybody's having a crack. And there's beautiful timber. There was timber from Tasmania, timber from Western Queensland. Amazing.
Did you bring any back?
Lots of burls.
Did you bring any back?
Stella bought some.
No, did you bring any back for me? Was the real question. Because I need some. I'm running low. There we go.
Yeah, mate, you should see Steve's store out the back. This is well known. He knows where you live,
isn't it? Ray, thank you, Ray. You got the order right.
Is that Mr. Herring?
He said, hello, Steve.
Greetings.
And the next message is, and Theo.
So, greetings and salutations, Ray. It's only 7 o'clock over there in Perth.
So, Theo, how long have you been? Serial horror fan wants to know how long you've been a How long's he been a master
That's a
crafter,
bit
or
hard.
how long? Because you can never say how long you've been a master, because that's for other people to say. I would say a long time, because I can say that.
Yeah.
How long have you been turning?
I've been turning. I had my first lesson in 1997 at the Timber and Working with Wood show. I turned a honey dipper, and then I think I was hooked for life. A bit of camphor laurel, stick a sharp tool in it, wood spinning at 3,000 reps. What's not to get excited about? And I did my first major.
Well, camphor laurel's one of the things I wouldn't get
You
excited
don't.
about.
You prefer MDF.
Yeah, because it sounds better.
In 2004, I did a gig down at Meadowbank with Richard Raffin and Soren Bird and
Victoria.
Tim Skilton in Meadowbank College in Sydney.
I was based at Meadowbank when I was in the army.
Is that in
That's
Sydney?
out near Liverpool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out the back, out the west.
I don't know. They just took.
Hello,
me.
Marcelo. Theo, say hello to.
Buongiorno.
Bob's not here. He'll be in soon as the food starts arriving. About to have breakfast. Well, you're doing better than me, Ray, because I haven't had it yet. Oh, yes, I did. I had a slice of toast. And then you're heading off to Perth later on this month. Don't forget to get that stuff from me mum with those planes, because I want to know what they are. It sounds absolutely awesome. All right. Well, let's do something. I'm halfway through doing something on the router, which is going to be extremely noisy. So I don't know if you can hear Theo, but I've got a couple of cuts to do, which I tried to do before we went on air. So I'll go and do those, and then what I'm doing is making a knife block one of these, which I did a little while back. Oh, and I just thought there might be some people on the Saturday show that haven't seen
Oh,
it.
that's nice.
So it's not going to be embellished like that one.
I should put that in the lathe and spin it. That'd be interesting.
Well, you could do that, except you won't be able to get a centre on it now. We could do a square one and you could do it. What is all your rubbish doing on my bed? Fair dinkum. It's like
What's
you
all
build
that?
a shed. What's the first thing that happens when you build a shed? Your wife puts a car in it.
Have a look at that.
Absolutely.
This is
killed.
Steve's innovation. It's an old hammer handle, and he's put it on
It's
a
a
file.
pig sticker, I think.
Is it?
I don't know. It
No,
could be a hammer
yeah, it
handle.
looks
Yeah,
like a
it's the
hammer
end of a
handle to me.
hammer
Yeah.
handle. So Theo's kindly said he's going to fix that up for me, which is going to be nice.
We found a ferrule, which is actually a guitar slide, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
guitar
I've
slide.
got a lump of wood. What was this one called?
Ah, there you go. Say hello in Brazilian, because Marcelo's Brazilian.
Oh well. Hello. No, that's French.
How'd you?
Ciao.
It's no.
What?
But Bonganoro? Is that right? Bonganoro? Bonganoro to you? Is that
Boganora.
Hello?
Boganora.
not with a Greek accent?
Oh. It was an Italian accent.
Oh, it's good evening for me. Well, I tell you what, I'll
Oh,
give
right,
you an
that's
Australian one. G'day. There you go.
There you go.
I'm going to go and do Bondia.
Bon dia.
That says
Is
dia.
it D-I-A?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably dia.
Yeah, we won't do that to you just yet. So I'm just going to make a bit of noise. Apologise for it. It'll only be about 2 minutes, and then Theo can make the rest of the noise for the rest of the day. What are you going to be making today? You're going to do
Yeah.
hammer handle.
So
handle.
Stella would love this, my wife, because I've broken that many sugar bowls, and in fact, I'm going to make a lid for this little sugar bowl
Seems to be.
out of a piece of wood. Steve knows what the wood is. What's the wood, Steve?
Blush older.
Blush.
Older.
A-L-D-E-R.
Yeah. Howdy. That covers most things, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's
Marcel asked if we're having a private show because we haven't got that many in there at the moment. See, I didn't do Wednesday. I tell you, I was in hospital.
He was a bit. He was.
It wasn't good. I'm all good now, but it wasn't good.
So we're going to do some. I'm doing some practical things today, like a.
Oh, Theo pronounced it right. Out.
Thank you.
Brownie point for Theo. He gets to buy coffee this afternoon because he wins.
Yeah, it's probably my shout, isn't it? No, it's not. It's your shout.
Yeah, I've got a horrible tummy ache. I don't think I've eaten too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyway,
What else
go
am I
on.
going to make? Am I going to make a rolling pin? You've got to find
Yeah,
a piece
well-
of wood, and I might make a rolling
Mate, there's
pin.
trees and
Yeah,
everything.
we might even go and chop a tree down the back. There's a
Do
saw
you
at
want
the
to
back.
make a natural one out of a branch?
What the hell is this?
It's a rip saw.
That's it.
4 TPI.
If ever there was a ripper of a saw, have a look at that. That's a rip saw.
That'll give you an
How many
idea.
teeth to an inch? About 3.
4, I think.
Yeah.
4 TPI, so that's
1, 2, 3. You just measure
3
it from
teeth.
yeah.
Yeah, it's 4 tips, 3 teeth, or something like that.
Oh, is that what the T? I thought the T was for tips. It's for teeth.
Oh, it's point. I don't know. TPI is
Totally permanently
yeah.
incapacitated.
Well, yeah, that's a big one. Oh, flimsy lathe. Just see it wobble then. All right, I'm going to go and make a bit of noise. I'll be back in a second. So please hang in there, and we'll be off and running. Where's my ears?
Are you going to make noise?
Yeah, I'm going to make big noise. Just while I just got to take this last little.
This is good the way you got the camera set up, because I can point to this and then still talk to the camera up here.
That's the
So
way
people
it's
can get a close up.
And can they see me when I'm here?
You can see your face.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
It's in the right place.
That's never good. Hey, well, let me spin this around. You can see
There
it.
you
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
So, it's a bit tricky to turn the lid, because you've got to turn the top part and you've got to turn the bottom part. And you can make a jam fit chuck and a whole host of things once you've made one side of it. I'm going to put a spigot on either side of this. Spigot's a big lumpy thing that sticks out at about 1.5 inches, or about 38 mil, I think. Spigot each side, and that will let me turn one side of it and then reverse it and then turn the other side of it. So I'll show you how that works. First of all, I've cut it square, and then I've drawn a circle on it, and then nipped the corners off with a bandsaw. With this particular, because the grain's running up this way, it is a bit easier to just cut off the corners first. I can make life a bit easier.
All right, you're going to go, because I'm going to make some noise.
Yeah,
So
make
they
some
won't
noise,
be able to
Steve.
hear you, I doubt.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, excuse the noise. All I'm doing here is, let's see if you can see it. I'm making a big gap there, because I want a meat cleaver to go in there. And then I've just got to widen these two out. And then there's a couple more smaller cuts. And all will be revealed of what I'm actually doing. So I have to concentrate, because I don't really want to lose any fingers. So bear with us.
Here's Bob.
Oh, Bob's just come in. There you
Yeah,
go.
mate.
He'll be leaving as soon as I turn this
He's
off.
just plonked himself right down next to my lady. Lucky he's got his back turned.
He's a good puppy.
How did he do that? He's
What?
sort of pretending he's asleep, but he's
He's waiting for food. That might run. Yeah. Then we're off and running. If we're not talking to you, it's because we can't see you at the moment. But we will be there very, very shortly. Right. Noisy, eh?
You got some oxygen there, Steve?
Oh,
I think he's done everything.
did he find something dead out the back?
So the last thing I want to do is put a roughing gouge on that. I'll just chip it out completely. So I'm just, I found this, one of my original, this is one of my original bowl gouges from about 20 years ago. So rather than start here, you sneak up on it from the side. Take the cut this way so you can see it better.
Yeah. Done them. I'll just change the bit over now. It vibrates, doesn't it? There we go. I don't really like using this cutting bit. It's the only does the job in one cut. So I'm just going to put a smaller one in there, and then I'll almost finish this noisy part. I believe that's a 3/4 inch wide router bit. Just check that. Yeah, 18 mil, that'll do. So I'll go 9 mil deep, because what I want to create is a square. There we go. Come in 10 mil or whatever part I am away from the edge here. Or do I? Can't remember.
Same on the other side.
Yep.
That fits perfectly. I'll just check this figure's the right size as well. So I'll just show you something which is really important. So this little drive dog is made to fit this particular chuck perfectly. So it's got 4 points. It's just called the drive dial, accompanied by Vermec make it, named Vermec. But what it does is it creates a spigot, which is exactly the right size. So if ever I'm doing any work, that's the size I should make, because when it goes in to the chuck, you'll see there, there's about a 3 mil, well it's just over, what is it, it's bigger than a 16.
Eighth of an inch.
An eighth of an inch, yes, that's the gap there. And that will fit all the way around and hold that snugly. So that's exactly what I duplicate when I make a spigot. Now this has got a smaller hole here where the drive was and a bigger hole here where the tailstock was. So I'm going to use the smaller hole here as the top, because I can use part of that spigot later as part of the little knob that I'm going to hold for the sugar bowl.
Alright, stuff off because if it catches them around a bit, it's going to fly everywhere and could hit Theo, which wouldn't be a good thing.
You sure?
Mrs. Theo wouldn't be happy.
So first of all, I'm going to measure the outer diameter of my sugar bowl to give me an indication. This is and I hope I don't drop this.
Alright, you're going to measure that, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, you do.
Alright.
So I'll just take it down to that mark.
Nearly finished.
Nearly there.
I'm nearly there too. We'll do one more change. Goodness, I don't want to make another one of these for a long time yet. Yes, I promised 3 people that, well, I originally promised 2 people, but apparently a third one's correcting the equation. Now I have to make 3. So I demonstrated one and someone said, oh, that's a great idea, can I have that? And I said, yeah, if you like. And then her friend said, oh, I want one too. And then another friend said, oh, can I have one? So that's it. See, you start out being generous and you make a rod for your own back. But it's all good.
Now I'm going to measure the internal diameter I need one of those. I always had one of those, and I.
What, you want some verniers?
No, the internal one.
I'm going to set this gap the same as all the other gaps.
Maybe if I put it in.
It'd be really handy if I got one that are already rounded out. These things here, by the way, they are absolutely. Oh, can you see those? No, you can't. Spin these around. These things here are absolutely brilliant. They just stop kickback there, done on an angle, so it'll feed through all right. But if your router kicks back for any reason, it just boom stops it and prevents the kickback. And with routers, I think that's one of the worst surprises you can get is a kickback on them.
The reason for this extra little piece just here will become apparent later. I'll need that to be able to hold that within the spigot and then be able to part it off. Make that a little bit longer. Let's just see. So I'll cut down. This is going to be the rim around about here, and I want that to sit over just over the top of that. Maybe just rather than just come out, maybe just that will. This spigot should fit down in through there, and then I'm just going to round that off and even undercut it slightly. See if I can do that with the bowl gouge. Not a big bowl gouge, but
here we go, last cut, promise.
Bob's here. Bob has entered the building. He's got his ball. What do you got there, Bob? What do you got? What have you got? Where's your ball? Hey. Here's your ball. Give us your ball. Good luck with that. He's gone. Where is he? Come on. Bring in your ball. Okay. We got to go out. We've got to go out and play.
Bob's idea of playing ball is, "G'day Roy, how are you mate? Pleased to have you along. Let me catch up on some chat here. What's going on?" Oh dear. That ball that he's playing with, believe it or not, that got kicked over the fence from the school yesterday, and as soon as it hit the deck, he just went hum, and put his teeth right through it. So
all right,
now there is.
Let it go, and I'll throw
There's no way in the world he's going to let it go. The game, his game is you have to get it.
I give up.
Then you're allowed to throw it. But if you don't get it, you're not allowed to throw it.
I'm out of breath and wit.
He's a strong little sucker, isn't he? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, what kind of lathe are you using? Oh, just a cheap one. Internal joke. No, actually, Wilson, he's using, what is it?
It's a Vic Mark
VL150.
VL150. It'll turn
things.
Yeah, 6 inches. It'll turn 12 inches. It'll actually take a disc. It'll actually take a disc that size, which is 12 inches, 300.
No, it's quite a nice little lathe actually. Hope that answers that question. G'day, Philip from West Virginia. Welcome back to the workshop. Max, good morning, good morning. Oh, I get a good morning there too. Theo said he enjoyed his coffee, Max.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob's gone, Horror. I'm sorry. All right, we'll pass it when he comes back. Andrew, g'day, mate. Welcome to the workshop. Thank you. Welcome back. You're right. No. Andrew said, he's on YouTube. He said, welcome back, Theo. I won't tell you that I missed you last week.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Well, you didn't mention that.
Hurricane Jose.
That's really nice.
There you go. Steve, you're noisy. I know, I finished that. I tried to get it done before we actually started streaming because I didn't sort of know if I was going to do it yet, but it's done, so that's it.
Blush.
I'll pass it on, Roy, when he comes in. Barry, good evening once again. Welcome to the workshop. Oh dear. What are we making today? A whole heap of things.
Yeah.
I'm making a knife block, which I did in Woodworking Masterclass stream a while ago, but I've got another one to make. So I thought I might as well do that now and get it out of the way, and I'll never have to make another one. I've made thousands of them. That's it. I'm not making many more. Yeah, the Staffy in him will not let go. That's they make their own games up, don't they? Andrew says the Staffy in him is what when he chomps the ball. And they made those Kong balls that they reckon that were Staffy proof. I bought him one of those and it lasted about 3 days. That's it. So yeah, Theo's doing a top for a sugar bowl. We're doing a file handle. I'm doing a knife block. A bit more work on the coat rack because, as I mentioned earlier on, I had a bit of an unfortunate week this week. So I didn't get much done. So I'm going to get ahead with the coat rack, which I will hopefully finish off on Monday. But I want to do some texturing on that. I tell you what, for those who were watching last Monday, and I mixed up some de-wax blonde shellac. Okay, that's been 5 or 6 days, and you can it's still got a bit of sediment here that hasn't totally melted. So it takes a while, and I wasn't in the shed for 3 days, so I wasn't able to spin it around like I am now, but that's pretty close to being usable. So if that's the case, I'll put another coat on the chessboard and choke that up. That's good, Roy. Pleased to hear it, mate. Cheers. But Steve didn't use it last... Oh, yeah, I was going to, wasn't I? I had that gnarly bit of...
You were gonna?
Oh, yeah, no, I had a bit of metal I was going to put in your lathe and we were going to... That was good. Will the sugar lid have a seal that will not allow moisture in?
No.
No, and it's not going to have a dip for a spoon to go in either.
No.
So I hate those.
Because in fact I made a lid for one of these, or something similar at home because I'd broken the lid. I always do it when I'm washing up. And so I made this beautiful...
You mean loading the dishwasher?
Jacaranda. And mate came over and said, Theo, it was my mate Bill. He said, Theo...
I'm not going there.
I hope you're not watching. I hope you're watching, Bill.
Hope you feel better,
so he
mate.
suggested I should drill a hole in it and allow for the spoon to go in. And I said, yeah, well, I was going to do that. Yeah. So we went down the shed, and so I put the hole for the spoon. And Stella gets home and said, "What is that hole there for?" He said, "The ants will get in." So then I had to turn another lid.
So you can't please everyone all the time. I get the next coffee, Maxwell says. Ray used to have a yellow Labrador. Didn't matter what we got in, frisbee ball, etc. It was destroyed. Yeah, labs are good at destroying things. Nothing Staffy proof. Oh yeah, your heart is. Oh no, well it's not, because they break your heart sometimes. Oh dear, no, they're beautiful. Hey Jordan, welcome to the workshop. Mate, we're making a lot of things. I'm making a knife block, we're doing a coat rack. Theo's making a lid for a sugar jar, making a handle for a file. Going to play around with a few other bits and pieces. If you've got any questions or requests of stuff you want done, made or put together, by all means just ask. And if you're watching and you feel a little bit I don't know, embarrassed, reluctant, or quiet, and you don't want to join in, please just press the letter A, or press, you know, a letter. Let us know you're there. And honestly, we are so open. Just come in, enjoy yourself, and become one of the family. There you go. So I'll explain what I did here as soon as I've worked out what I've done. Done. Mario, Huff Carpinteria. Okay, that sounds good. Welcome to the workshop, mate. Welcome to the bench. Yeah, border collies. Well, if they can't jump over it, they dig under it, don't they? Okay. Make a bit of room here, and I can show you what I just threw the string back away. Not a good thing. So we are still in joint shot. So in order to make this style of knife block, the main thing here is the pinstripes in it. And it's really interesting if you want to do chopping boards. Theo's got a lovely chopping board with pinstripes in it, anything. All you do is get a bit of veneer, and it's scrap veneer that you can pick up from cabinet shops or furniture shops that they'd most likely have in the bin. So it doesn't have to be whole, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to have a few lengths that you can cut some strips out of. And what I did with these is laid veneer on one side and then just pressed it so it was all glued. And then with the router, that noisy thing I was just using then, I route out the slots I need. Now in this case, or this style of knife block, I have, let's see where we are, here we go. I have two, could be steak knives or butter knives or whatever, fit in here. They're generally about 2 meters, they're 1 inch wide. That large one there is for a meat cleaver. It's 5 mil or just under 1/4 inch thick, which might be 3/16 or 5/32 of an inch deep, almost the full width. Then I've got 2 at 38 mil. I've got another one at 38 mil. They're 3 mil wide, and that's to allow for the back of the knife. And then on the top, these are 50 mil wide and 5 mil deep for carving knives. And then here, of course, is a square for a steel. They're the measurements I use, but what you do is you measure the thickest part of your knife, and that's the width of the, or the depth of the cut, and then the widest part of the blade is the width of the cut. So then you cut those up, like so, and I'm just thinking, yep, I've got to go over to the docking saw, and I'll dock them, and I might be able to get my camera over there, so you can see that.
Now, what's up, Doc?
And then we start putting them together. But that's basically how they start out. That's how they end up. This is the part I'm going to do now, cutting the miters on here and squaring it to length. I have mine at, I think they're 11 inches. Let me just double check. Yep, 11 inches or 280 mil, whichever suits your measuring purposes. So the first one I do is cut this one to length, square off the bottom, and then cut it to length, and then all the measurements then come off that first one that you use. So I might see if I can take the camera over there, and we'll have a go at that. Yeah, Great Danes are lovely. I like the way they can just meet you eye to eye. And you can look into their eyes, and they're just so gentle, really, aren't they? Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, well, I hope you get another dog one of these days. It won't replace the one that you've lost, But there's another place in your heart for another one, I'm sure. Okay, I'll be back in a tick. Well, I'll take my camera over there, see how we go. I've actually tied my shed up now, so I'm not embarrassed if you see it.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
It's tidy. Well, I was until Theo moved in. Look at that, all over the floor.
No, there's no dust.
It's just messy.
Oh, look at this. Look, shaving, Steve, no dust.
Barber shop. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm over at my docking saw now.
Wow, look at that. There's some chatoyance. I've got chatoyance. Wow, look at that.
Oh, is that flashy stuff?
Yeah, this is well, no wonder it's blushing. Blush elder.
Blush older.
Older.
Where am I?
So that allows me to get in later when I reverse it. When I get my parting tilt, it's jammed.
It's not parting.
No, I don't. Oh, that's locked in.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Yeah, when I reverse it, I'll be able to go in there and just part it off once it's reversed.
Show you, Bob. He's sitting there with that board. This one got enough coat. I don't know if I've got enough
That's
coat.
because I touched it.
Thank you. You can see that. Can they see that out there?
Yeah, it's a bit too much light, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Overexposure.
Well, we won't do that then. We'll bring it back inside. Can't have Bob being overexposed. Now get back to the.
So before I do that, what I should do is drop it on the lid and have a look at how I can try to sit. It's going to sit like that, and I'm just trying to see that nice bulbous shape there. I'm going to try and maybe match that with a bulbous shape in the little pick-me thing up in the knob.
All right, I'm just going to square one end off and we'll turn the dust here. This one's a length. What did I say? 11 inches. Or thereabouts. I mean, really, it's not that critical. And then square off the bottom of all the other ones first. This is the one we've got the right length to. So cut this one. Hello, Bob. So That lines up with that. Make sure it's even at the bottom. So that now fits together like that. Now the only difference is, instead of cutting the rest square, you actually cut them at a 45-degree angle. So this now will cut at 45 degrees to line up with the top of this. I actually know that an easier way is we'll cut 45 degrees on all of them, and then we'll knock them to length. It's going to be easier. So we've got these two cut. Like that. Now I'm going to swivel the head of the saw down to 45 degrees and lop off 45 degrees on each of these.
Sometimes that's the only way to test it, is to actually look at it, see making
So once it's been cut, like that, these two are even. Now it's a question of docking the ends off, but lining up this mitered portion here with the front of the board behind it, like so. So line this up to that, and then dock it to length. Turn it back upright, so you're docking it 90 degrees. Get the next one in the list. Whoops. Hang on, messed up. This one should have been that one, so I'll do that again. Line that up with there. Lock that to it. One to that, line that angle up so it's level with that one. Knock that off. Take the top one. I don't want that. No, I want those. finally like this, and we're just about finished. And the last one hasn't had any routering done on it at all. That's the front cover plate, if you like. And there you have it.
And there you have it.
There you have it, she says. Let me just move this and we'll go back over here. That's
Let's
it.
have a look at how it looks.
Hopefully that's all the nasty, noisy stuff.
Does it look all right to you?
Looks good.
There's a little bit of a hole just there, and that's from that live centre. Remember I was mentioning this one had the shallower hole, that's got a giant hole, so I wanted the one with the shallow hole, but I can turn that away. Just take one last cut.
Oh, let me get that. Where am I? I'll tell you what, I need a GPS today.
I'm going to write a song, I think. I'm going to call it One Last Cut.
Well, the first cut is the
Ode
deepest.
to Woodturners.
The fateful song.
Yeah.
One last
I'll
cut.
just take one last cut, then she starts to shave.
You know how an Irish torque wrench works, don't you?
An Irish torque wrench.
Yeah. You tighten it up until it strips, then you back it off half a turn. Then you know you're right. Kerry Blue, welcome to the workshop. How are you? Oh, Theo giving private lessons. Oh, well, thanks very much. You get the lathe out. Go for it.
Did you do some turning last week?
No, I wasn't game to touch your machine. I did on mine. Hey, Angry, how are you, mate? I'm catching up on chat now. Oh, dear.
Is that Angry Architect?
Hey, Angry Architecture?
Yeah, he's been following me on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's been following Sue, too.
I think we've got a serial stalker.
No.
Good on you, mate.
Sue said he's nice. I've got a guy called Angry Architecture following me. I said, yes, so do I. Oh, no. Jordan, I should have paid attention. No, don't. I didn't pay attention during my school woodwork. It stifles you. You've got to think outside the box.
Yeah, you only learn to scrape it.
See, if I listened to my woodworking teacher, I would never have got into woodworking because he said I was hopeless. Unfortunately, I can't prove him wrong now, but
Is that?
in the early days,
that
that's
water,
just
Steve?
water. Yeah, there's just
I'm going to try something,
H2O.
Steve. I should put something down so my.
Are you going to defer it?
No, well, I'm just going to wet sand.
Wet sand.
That way, there's no dust.
Okay. I hope your chuck doesn't rust. But instant spray. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. So no, you be about it, mate. If you want to do woodwork, Jordan, just do it. Get out there and try something. Do something different.
Look at that, Steve.
Yeah, that's my number one student, Kerry Blue. She's my favourite. I'm going to say that. I know what you're going to say next. But no, it'd be good to catch up. That's when you're in Australia. You can come and get free lessons from Theo then, you see. I still charge, but Theo's free.
He's my manager.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Get clogs and sand.
Yeah, long time no hear, Pam. I hope all is well. And say good day to Loretta for me. Theo, that looks perfect. Don't butter him up too much, Max. I've only got standard door widths. Did you used to listen to me, Kerry Blue, did you? Honestly, this student made the most magnificent journeyman's tool chest I have ever seen. It's a work of art. You know the sad thing, is it still in the lounge room or are you actually using it as a toolbox now? Because I'll come round and I'll scratch it. I'll put it back in the shed. You in the UK, Jordan? Well, welcome, and thanks for joining me on Mixer.
Well, what time is it over there?
It's late.
Huh?
What time is it over there,
It's,
Jordan? Have to be 2 o'clock,
midnight.
2 o'clock in the morning or something? Yeah.
Midnight.
There you go.
Well, it's probably 1 o'clock now.
Yeah. Yeah, the only, yeah, Max, I would love to. We had a school reunion and I did make inquiries about this chap, but unfortunately he passed away. But yeah, I guess I could see that as my first motivational speech. When someone says you can't do something, it's sort of like a red flag or a bull for me. Oh dear. Yeah, lounge room display cabinet. Beautiful journeyman's toolbox, right? And it's a lounge room display cabinet. I mean, that's just, no, I'm coming in there. One night if you find that there's glass rings on it, you know I've been there. There you go, we're right in the middle, mate. You said 12, I said 2. Jordan said it's 12:55.
12:55, yeah, because we've been running for 55 minutes. Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
And I've actually done something.
I've nearly made a
There
list.
you go. Alessandro, welcome to the workshop, mate. Welcome to the bench. Good to have you back. I am good. And now that is worthwhile. Kerry Blue on YouTube, who was one of my students many years ago, before I was grey, I think, made this gorgeous tool chest, and it's now in the living room, and it's a place for hiding chocolates. I couldn't think of a more worthy, if you're not going to put tools in it, chocolates. That's the way to go. Through less doom, thoughtless doom. Hey guys, welcome, mate. Theo'd say hi, but he's polishing something at the moment. Is that Neil stuff?
With my
What's
special,
that?
yeah, it is. It's Triple E.
Triple E.
Car polish
It's
for
not
wood.
Triple E. I'll show you Triple E. It used to be Triple E, you know.
It's made at the town.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff.
And then there's some people call it Triple, and they put 3 E's
It's
in it.
actually the grid in it. I think is rotten stone.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's a finer than rotten stone because you got pumice, then you got rotten stone, then you got Triple E, which I use when I French polish.
Oh right.
I've got some sitting up over there.
Yeah, you can buy it
Yeah.
in a stick. It's called Triple E, like the town.
Yeah.
It's a reddish, the same colour as this, I suppose.
What is on the wall in the white, red lids behind you? White and red lids. Oh! This stuff here, that's the wood filler I use, which is called Timbermate. It is absolutely brilliant stuff. It's water-based, and even if it goes rock hard, you just put water in it and use it again. I literally threw some tins out the other day, or jars like this, that would have to be 15 years old, and they still would have worked. It's just I went and bought some new ones of the colour, so I thought I'd upgrade it. But the other great thing I like with this, look at that, my voice is starting to go after an hour. That's what happens when you go to hospitals and you put tubes in you.
Couldn't be the dust.
No, it wouldn't be that. You can water it down and use it as a grain fill. Clement, g'day mate, thanks for the bob.
I know him.
Oh dear. How's the wenge go? I was talking to Terry. Clement sent me
There's no way to talk about his
photograph.
wife.
Clement sent me an email with a picture of an absolutely gorgeous picture frame he did on a
Cabinet?
No, what's that big view? Panorama. A panorama view. And we were talking about different timbers, and he's now starting to work with wenge, which is... Hang on, I'll get you a bit of wenge. I'll show you what wenge is.
So the other UV product I like, it's called Aussie Oil. I have shaken it up. I'll shaken it up again. It's got the thinners in it with the oil. You shake it up, and it helps break down the oil to penetrate into the wood, so the finish is deeper than just the surface. This, unlike the other product they have, Shallow Wax Glow, this one doesn't mind moist fingers and water, and you can just wipe it back because it's an oil.
It's not hydroscopic. That's wenge. It is as bony as can be.
Bony.
It is.
Oh, that's
splintery. But, oh, gee, it comes up nice. A friend of mine made a cabinet in that. And, but I was talking to... There you go, put a bit of water on it now. Theo's happy. He's ruined a $100 stick of timber. That's what it comes up like, French polish. Yeah, it is lovely. And I was talking to Terry, Mark, about the hardness, and he reckons, no, Gidgee would still be harder, although Wenge is very, very tough. So Gidgee, he says on, I think it's 19 on the Janker scale, and he will be here. People who don't know who Terry Gordon is, yeah, that was Wenge, Clocker. Terry Gordon is the guy that makes these phenomenal planes, and the majority of all these moulding planes I have behind me, and he is graciously
Goodness gracious.
given up, no, was it graciously
Graciously.
given his time to come up, not this coming Monday, but Monday week. We're doing a joint project together for a trade show, but he's going to be on the stream, so if you've got any questions, he's going to share some ideas about planing. He's a great guy, and I'm hoping we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to try and make a bit of furniture the way I don't think any of you would ever had seen it being made before. So there could be some mess ups, there might be some wow moments, but wow, it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's...
Have a look at that.
Oh, that's nice. Jeez, look at that, yeah. That's flashing. It's changing colour, isn't it?
Mm.
It's one of the weird timbers that what
Blush.
Theo is just...
Older.
Theo. Yeah, I can't be that tired. Theo, this turn's called Blush Older, and it is one of the very, very few timbers that I know, that is an Australian timber, that honestly you could sell it for about 15 different timbers, because depending on the grain and the cut, it looks identical to so many other timbers. And in fact, the 4-poster bed I keep on banging on about I've got to make is made out of it. And here's, that's the prototype of one of the posts for the 4-poster bed. So that's Blush Older around here, and that's Macassar Ebony. So I just had to get the balance right to work out how to do it. So that, I've told my wife, I promised my wife I'd start doing that on the stream, so she's guaranteed she's going to get a bed now. No, she's not sleeping on the floor. We do have another bed. Anyway, I'll put this knife block together. There we go. Wow, you've gone all out, Clement. Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, Terry would be thrilled if you're on. He'll get to talk to you. Yeah, you won't regret the spoke shaves. They are really good. For people that are watching that can't see this one on Twitch, Clement's just bought a large palm smoother and a rounded spoke shave from Terry Gordon. I think that's a rounded spoke shave there. That's the big one, and then he does a really small one as well. Okay, let's start putting this puppy together. Hey Doc, how are you, mate? No trademarks today, no maker's marks. I'm behaving myself. You missed us. Well, we missed you too, Doc.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
All right. Now I'm just going to glue this together. And normally I double glue things, but obviously you can't see where these glue lines marry up with here. So I'm only gluing one side. And I've just got to find a couple of fancy bits of wood. There we go. And again, nothing sophisticated, just an F clamp.
Yeah, you might wonder why I spend so much time parting off. The whole idea is to minimise the tear out. Because usually when you part off, you get a fair bit of tear out, and it's just a little bit there where I might have started the cut. Let's just bring the camera back. Just get you to take a ride with me. Whoa!
You wish you'd issue seasick tablet.
Back and around. I should just say, yeah, look away for a second. Put the lens cap on, yes.
Then they go, oh, they finished the stream.
Yeah, it's gone dark.
Just a single bead. I'm using acrid hair external, but ordinary acrid hair would do, or any PVA, Gorilla Glue, Tight Bond, whatever you fancy. And I could use hide glue too. Sometimes it's nice just to do something really easy. These are great gifts. Actually, Theo mentioned earlier we should do just a square one, and then he could turn it so it'd be a round one, but with the same set out. That's something that's worth having a go with. Bearing in mind you'd need, I think these are about 115 or 110 wide. If you're going to turn it, you should have to do it maybe at about 160 or 180, because you're going to lose a fair bit on the corners when they go away, and just flatten that out. It will look, when you put this together, it will look as if you've got great big gaps in here because of the fact you've got dark timber. But when it's dry, you can either plane them flat, or if you've got a belt sander, just touch them up with a belt sander and they will flatten out very, very nicely. Where's an F clamp? There we go. And that's all it is, just that. Clamp. Just tighten. That side, that side. If you can, get it as level on the bottom as you can. If you're out a little bit here, through your cuts or what have you, it's a lot easier to flatten that out rather than having to flatten the whole base out. So always make sure the base is flat and the sides are flat, and then the rest we'll fix up later on. Leave that overnight to dry, and then just finish her off. Oh, well, I'm so pleased I've finished that, because I'm over making knife blocks, I tell you. Theo's turning a lid. Yeah,
this is going to
we
be
broke
$50 lid.
$50 lid. That's good. It's going on a $200 sugar bowl. Yeah, that's been down in the shed. In fact, if you look in there, it's got that much muck in it. It was one I thought, oh yeah, I'll turn the lid on that one day. And now Theo's here. Why not get Theo to do it? Because he'll do a far better job than I will. And if it's not right, I'm not the one in trouble. Theo is. And my wife is nice enough and polite enough not to go crook at Theo. See, so it's a win-win all the way around. Yeah, mate, I've had enough of knife blocks. I've made thousands of them. I'm over them. But that was for an order for a special group of people that sort of look after me, so I look after them.
Bethel.
Okay, what are we working on now?
Green. I'm just sanding to 400 grit, and then again I'll add the triple E. And if you notice, I'm sanding with the grain. If you sand across the grain, the scratches will become more apparent from the sandpaper. A bit of triple E.
See, if you didn't use sandpaper, you wouldn't get scratches.
This is not a finish. It's an abrasive compound, and it makes it the equivalent of sanding with another 2 grits. So it's the equivalent of sanding 600, 800.
You want some 600 and 800?
It would have come up even nicer. I sanded something the other day, some Banksia to 1,000, and then added the Triple E.
I've got 2,500.
And it was just like glass.
You want some 2,500?
2,500, yeah, but you've got to, somehow you have to sand in between the grades.
Well, there's 2,000. There's 2,500. There you go.
That's probably a bit too late now because I put the finish on it, Steve. It'll just drop the paper.
Dear, I tell you what. See, you go your way, you try to help people.
He's very trying.
Gee whiz, I've been told that. Okay, so what I might do now is go onto that coat rack I was doing and do a little bit more texturing, because as I said, I sort of had an upheaval week this week. So with this, what I was doing was texturing, and actually Theo might be making, I don't know if he's going to make some more of these things today.
Yeah, I might make
because you want to turn some rosewood.
Ooh.
Oh, I wish you guys could smell rosewood when it's being turned. This is a coat rack or a hat rack that's going to go in the house. Very, very basic. And all it is, just a length of timber. I've divided up for 5 pegs, and then in between the pegs I've just recessed areas that I'm going to texture. So I'm just might go in there just with a plane and make it a little bit deeper, and then I'll continue going with the texturing on that. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to knock this down even more. This is denatured alcohol I'm putting in there, which is going to thin it down to the thickness that I want. There is precise measurements, but at this stage I'm not using them, so it's a guesstimate, but it's a pretty good guesstimate because I've been doing it for a few years.
So I'm just rubbing at 2,000 revs.
Hello, Bob.
Hey, Bob. What you doing, man? What you doing? He's going for Steve.
Yeah, that's, where are we? Well, that's 2,000. Is it? That's 1,000.
Oh.
Difference in colour. There is, you can feel it.
Oh.
I think when you get up to about 4,000, then you actually use the back of the sandpaper rather than the front. Well, where was it? 2,500. There you go. That's 2,500 grit, just to let you know that it does exist. I seldom use it. If I do, it's mainly for show, because honestly, above 1,500, it doesn't really make that much difference. I found anyway. But you can get coated creams and what have you, 10,000 grit, whether or not they need them. Isn't that lovely?
On behalf of myself and I'd like to present you with this small token of my depreciation.
My wife will be thrilled.
There you go.
She will look at you.
I'll just see if I can pass it through that magic corridor.
Oh, that's with that new app. Yeah, gee, that's lovely. I mean, look at the chatoins on that. Or some of the same chatoins. But we won't. Theo's won that debate, so I call it chatoins now.
Out and I won.
Yeah, no, actually, you didn't. You went on YouTube and you got the pronunciation.
I got the pronunciation
but
right.
Whatever, she might have been wrong too. You never know. Let's see it. Look at that. That'll keep the cockies out of his sugar.
And I've made it. The thing with a sugar bowl, you shouldn't make it. I mean, if you're going to make it airtight, you put a groove in it for a rubber seal. But if you make it absolutely perfect to fit into the glass, you got to remember that over time, timber will shrink and expand and contract depending on the rain. And if you make it a perfect fit, it could expand and actually crack the vessel. So.
And those actually.
So you got to make it.
Those.
It's got to be
those sugar bowls expand too.
Do they?
Yeah.
So that's what I call a French fit, Toulouse.
No, they expand.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah,
yeah,
if I drop that on the ground,
it'll expand.
It'll expand, but you never get it back. That's a short French lid, is it? Toulouse.
Toulouse. It's got to be Toulouse.
Theo Wilson thinks it looks good, Theo.
That's good.
No, I'm not making an Aussie lunch. Actually, what you'll find is that extra bit of DAA I put in there. If I give it a swirl, if you're watching at the beginning, if you have a look now, you'll find that it's nearly melted that stuff that was on the bottom. It's nearly all gone. Where's TH? The whole bourbon. I bet the sugar hole would. I'll tell you, it would. It would be. That'd be a nice little sipping cup, wouldn't it? Just with. I think by the time I got down the bottom of that, I'd most likely have problems putting the lid on if it was full of whiskey. Someone just mentioned that would be good for holding whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Anything's good for holding
that's
whiskey.
one of the songs I sing. It's an Irish song called "Whiskey in the Jar."
There you go. That's it.
As I was going over
I tripped on a four-leaf clover.
far-flung Kerry Mountain.
Oh, there you go. All right, so I'm going to have a crack at this. I'll put this over here because I can see.
That's better than a Greek singing, a person of Greek heritage singing Irish songs.
The Celtic Thunder did a good job of that
Mm.
one. I love them. You ever watch them?
Yeah, actually, we do that version. It's a rock version.
All right, yeah.
Mm.
That bloke that
Absolutely
sings
brilliant. The one bloke, Tass, my mate Tass, he sings that one, and I love the drumming in that. Brilliant.
All right, I'm just going to
They're
add a little bit.
good-looking boys, those.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder.
Yeah.
They don't have to sing.
No, that's what Sue reckons. Okay. Yeah. Where's my squirt bottle? Pinch me squirt bottle.
Yeah, as I usually say, you can do this with a
Ouch.
between centres, but I always prefer to have a spigot on the end. So we're going to turn the spigot.
Okay, I was using an old woman's tooth, or a cordless router as they're sometimes called, just to bring that background down.
I'll tell you what I'm making in a minute.
I washed my apron.
Oh my God.
First time in 4 years it got washed.
Well, I'm lucky. Every time I turn, Stella washes and irons my turning shirt, my turning job. I don't know why, but I get dust on it. Considering I don't sand, I don't know how that happens.
It's most likely the bloke next to you.
True.
Here
So-
we go.
This is what we're replacing. We've got a hammer handle here that's been converted into a chisel handle. And this, it works.
That way.
This is a raft. So the first thing is, I'll get one of the mallets I made the other day.
They're just outside the door. But do you want that big honking one I did? Doesn't matter. Just, no, they're
Outside the door.
Yeah, just
You
have a
mean
look.
outside.
outside. Just have a look around the corner there on the rags. Got them? What have we got? What are we making? Master clips? I'm doing the coat rack. Theo's just about to make a new handle
that's-
for a file.
That's come up nice, Steve.
Yeah, no, they did. They're nice.
And this one's a little bit more roundy. It's got a bit more of an angle, a bit more the shape of a rubber mallet, isn't it?
It is. Hey, there you go. There's a rubber mallet there. Look at that. That's very much like a rubber mallet. There you
Maybe
go.
that's what I had in mind because I was turning it and I wasn't sure what I was doing.
There you go.
There must be a reason for that, so you can get a bit, I don't know, closer.
Who knows?
Get a bit square.
Clement, you did an inlay and there was some tear out on the edge of it, and it doesn't look good. I've tried some of the putty. Oh no! Is this the inlay in the underneath of that table?
It came off.
Okay. Clement, let me have a look. And I tried some putty. The colour got it right, but it doesn't dry. It was a brand that does. Hang on, I'll start again. Hi Steve, I did an inlay and there was some tear out on the edge of it and it doesn't look good. I've tried some of the putty I have and got the colour right, but it doesn't dry. Is there a brand that does, or is there any way to fix it besides throwing it in the fire? No, don't throw it in the fire. We can fix it. Purple Heart in Honduran mahogany. I would be tempted. I honestly would be tempted to get some of these wax sticks like these and melt it in, because that way that dries nice and hard. It'll accept the finish, and if you look on eBay or some of the websites over there for melted wax sticks, there's another one that I've got which is a Libron one that you don't melt, you actually put in cold. And yeah, and see what? My grandson's just come down. What's up, love?
I just came to see what you guys were doing.
Oh, there you go. Well, you can say hello to everybody. I'll just stick on the phone.
That's the one. Hey, Theo.
There you go.
There you go.
How are you, Anton?
Good.
There you go.
I'm looking for that golden anniversary set of drill bits, Steve.
Up in the shed. Up in the house. Look around there behind the drill press. There's a set of, in a big box on the shelf right behind the drill press. Well, that's
everything's in its place.
It's terrible, isn't it? That's another one I use, and that you just scratch off with your finger, and you just actually mould it into where the tear out is. My preference is the melted ones, though. I think they work better. So give that a try. If not, depending where the tear out is, you can possibly put an inlay around the outside. Tell you what, Clement, send me a photo, mate. That's going to be a lot easier. Then I can give you a better shot. Either flick me one online or send me an email and I'll have a look when I open my emails tomorrow. So I hope that helped. There you go. What's you up to?
Nothing.
Nothing. What, Nanny banned you from playing games, is she?
No, I've got Anton at home.
Oh, there you go.
That's the shops.
Those of you who don't know, this is my grandson, Anthony. He lives here, and he doesn't realise how lucky he is to have a shed down the back and a granddad like me.
Yep.
He even admits it. Goodness gracious. He's come down here because he's bored, and I think if he goes up there, his grandma's going to get him to do some work. So he thought he'd come down here. He's starting to learn the shed survival technique. So that's it. Come down to the shed, you'll be right.
So what I'm going to do is drill the hole for this tank using 3 different drill bits.
I'm just taking this down to about 1 millimetre below the surface, and then we'll start texturing it.
And I'm using the electrical tape as a depth gauge. And making it just a little bit smaller than what I need. That will do there. And the next one will be about that diameter there. Just a little bit less. Which is probably this one.
There we go. these things are so nice, and you can get into the corners and actually get a square cut, whereas obviously if I was using a router, the best I could do would be come in here like that and just get, where are we, a rounded cut, and then I'd have to chisel that out. But by using one of these, I can get right in there and keep those nice crisp square corners. You want a soft drink?
I'm just looking at your messages.
That's all right. Oh. You want to read them out?
No, just one there that said I need my own channel.
Hi Anthony, good to see you taking one. Yeah, no, if you're related, you're not masters. Well, Theo can be a master.
Yeah.
Because he's not related, but I'm just granddad. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell the excitement in his voice, can't you, Max? Thrilled to bits he is. Hey Max, just off the off chance, what do you reckon? Do you reckon kids need to do their schoolwork and do it properly? I'm just asking for curious reasons, seeing Anthony standing next to me. An unbiased opinion would be really helpful at this stage in his academic career.
Yep. Put me to work soon.
Hi from Canada, g'day. I'm Valentine. Oh, can I just go Valentine? I'm the Christie Valentine. There you go. Welcome to the workshop. Whereabouts in Canada? East Coast, West Coast? Yep, there you go. Yeah, for sure. You got to do schoolwork.
I know that.
There you go. Yeah, Theo's making a handle now. Now let me come down here. Purple heart. Oh, let me know how it goes, Clement. Yes, sorry, Theo. I interrupted.
No.
What?
I was just saying it'd be good if I put in the drill bit straight.
Well, there might be bent drill bits. Yeah, try that wax, Clement. That'll be the go. Yeah, and Doc, I love using wax for fixing stuff. It is so nice. I don't know. Hey, Doc, has anyone called you Tony?
No, I don't get that very much actually.
There you go. That's why he didn't respond, because he didn't know it was him. Say hello to Doc.
Hey, Doc.
He can't see you. You've got to get around behind me and have a wave. Or you can wave in front of that one.
Hi.
There you go. He'll get his own channel when he gets his own job, mate. No, he used to come down here a lot until he found out about PS4s and PlayStation. What is it? Xbox One. And,
PlayStations and Xboxes.
This is well, he hasn't found out about Twitch yet.
Oh, no, he watches me. Stick around. Stick around, Anthony, and they'll put you to work soon. Man after mine at home. Mate, can you sweep all that mess up?
Yes.
Sure.
Well,
No,
could you
right.
just grab a soda water from the
Sure.
fridge?
Oh, now you see, you got him working now.
I didn't really want to, but
Yeah, that's the trouble, Wilson, isn't it? Is this sort of work isn't going to be around. No, give us a glass too. Oh, fair dinkum. Kids, you got to retrain them every morning. You just want bubbly stuff, or you want water in it as well?
yeah, no.
Do you want a straw? What colour straw would you like?
The last straw.
The last straw's in the bin.
I've left my live centre on my chuck at home.
There you go. You need chocolate
Cheers.
too? You need chocolate yet?
No chocolate.
No chocolate.
What chocolate do you
I've got to see
like?
the doctor on Monday.
I got Twix. I got Turkish Delight, specially bought for you. I've got cherry ribes. No, that's it.
Really do.
See, it's spoiled here. He's wussing out because his MD's watching now.
You're in deep trouble.
Oh dear.
That is so.
Oh, no, mate, he might not get fired. He might not get paid. Doc says that since you're a grandpa, you can't get fired unless grandpa wants to sleep alone. Oh, hang on. And since there's Grandpa, you can't get fired unless Grandpa wants to sleep alone. Which means if I sacked you,
Yeah.
Nanny would kick me out of the house. That happened as I had a business partner. We had a factory once, and he was a fair bit older than me, but old school carpenter. And he and his brother used to work with his father building houses back in the 60s, I suppose. And anyway, his father had knocked his brother off the roof, and his brother hit the deck, and his father went down, and he said, right, now don't tell your mother. And then he sacked him once, and his mother made him re-employ him. They were the days when kids couldn't see their parents. Oh, let's see. G'day, Craig. Welcome to the workshop, mate. Good to have you here. Pull up a bit of floor. West Coast, Vancouver. Oh, Vancouver Island. Very nice. Yeah, thanks, Wilson. We've got... No, go on. I'll let him have a... Go on, have a rough gouge. I'll talk to you in a minute.
I'm really around.
Button constructions.
What?
Oh, some of the messages.
I was mentioning earlier that I put a dovetail spigot on this, and one of the reasons is so that you can have a bit of a play with this end, and you don't have to keep putting it back between centres. Different to my T-bar. I'm just going to every time I rough down, I come back and I just tighten up the chuck. You can always turn it just that little fraction more, the vibration and the compression. Just a little tip. If you start getting some shakiness here, it's probably that the spigot's compressed, and even though it's a dovetail, it's not going to, well, it shouldn't come out.
I had some shakiness on my lathe the other day, and I couldn't figure out. I was looking at the belts. None of the belts were right. I was checking the bearings. No, bearings right. Tailstock was tight. Had me absolutely beat. And I found my chuck was coming.
Oh, it was winding off? Yeah. Oh,
dear. That's another reason I don't like wood turning.
I love it.
Yeah, but your idea of turning, Anthony's idea of turning wood is I'll give him a 6x6 lump of maple or something. He'll turn it down to 10 mil. And then it breaks. He says, oh, I'll finish. Can I have another bit? So that was his first experience. And next I said, I'll show you something really special that you've got to learn because it's important. Oh, okay. And he got up all excited next morning, came down the shed. He said, oh, what have I got to do now? I said, clean the mess up you made yesterday. So I made him do it with the dustpan and brush. And when he finished, I said, oh, have you heard of a dust extractor before? So he's a good lad. Made your own video too, haven't you, mate?
Yeah. Made a school.
That's it.
Well, that's going to go in nicely. I'm not going to force it anymore, but it will just go in just another probably 3 mil, an eighth of an inch when I turn it over and give it like a stomp.
G'day, Rusty. How are you, mate? Welcome to the workshop, and all the way from Sydney.
Sydney.
Oh, now where are we?
Rusty from Sydney.
Mate, Wilson, I agree, mate. Never be such that working craftsmen like you two won't be found. No, you're not doing it. I'm doing in a couple of weeks a trade fair called the Lost Trades, and it's blacksmiths and coopers and farriers and furniture makers and tool makers and people like that. And I was watching a video of a show that was done in Melbourne. And the organiser of the show is very interesting. He was asked, what would you like to see this show be doing in 10 years' time? Oh, bucket makers, well, they were the coopers. And he said, I would like in 10 years' time for this show not to have to exist. In other words, people have embraced the handmade qualities that these craftsmen and tradesmen are exhibiting today. And I thought, wouldn't that be absolutely wonderful? And it's very hard for someone starting out today to just make handmade furniture. I think you've got to have something to supplement yourself with until you get a name. And once you get a name and you get a good client base, yeah, sure. But yeah, it's a tough road, and I'm with you, Wilson. I hope the day never comes when we cease to be more than an oddity. Are you?
I'm turning without making noise.
You're still making noise.
That's going to take a while to powder on, I'll tell you. Where's my mouse gone? I've lost my mouse.
Oh, I've got a 22mm spanner I pulled out.
Oh. Max says, Ants, you're better off learning woodworking from the old, from Grandpa than stupid push button. Max, I'm with you. But as I've said before, if it wasn't for those stupid push button contraptions, Twitch wouldn't exist. So therefore, you wouldn't be the audience, and Theo and I wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So everything has a silver lining. Mustang Tammy, welcome to the workbench. Welcome to the workshop.
I'm here.
Drag up some floor, kick back and enjoy yourself. If you've got any questions, ask away. Yeah, oh, have you got the real miniature one? This is a little... Clement said he's got a miniature... No, that's not it.
What's that for?
Little... Veritas. That's not that one.
It says Veritas.
Is it the mini one like that? Because that's its bigger brother. But there is one in between as well, which is equivalent to what used to be the Stanley 271. They're handy little gadgets to have though, but honestly this new one is very, very nice. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with the 71s either, Doc. They're great. The other one, apart from the 71, is the 71 and a half, and that doesn't have this bridge on it. So if you're doing locks on a door or something like that, you can use this one, whereas if you don't have the foot...
Only kidding.
If you don't have the foot... I'm trying to sell some dovetail jigs here. If you don't have that foot, there you can't do mortise cuts on doors and straight panels. But anyway, how do we get off of that? G'day, Rusty. I've said g'day. G'day again. Father and son or friends? Are they father and son? No, that... Well, there you go. Mustang Tammy, thank you so much, because that's the nicest...
But they think I'm
yeah,
your
but
son.
you think, no, they think you're my father, because of the father.
Is that because I'm farther away?
Yeah, that's it. No, Theo's the mate, and come here. Anthony is my grandson, and believe it or not, he has just turned 13.
13?
And
Yep.
he's going to be a basketball player one of these days, I'm sure.
I'm not going to be a basketball
You can't
player.
hear Theo. That's not a bad thing. Are we going? Oh, that's all right. Rusty, Harold and Saxon chisels. I believe they are. There was a lot of issues earlier on, but I believe he's back in production. Check out his website. That's the best way to go.
Trent.
Good one. Harold and Saxon. Check out his website.
Oh, it's Harold.
Sir Carcass. Securious V. Welcome to the workshop. Thanks for coming on from Mixer too. That's great. The more people we get from Mixer, the nicer it is as well. So welcome. Craig, as long as the handmade furniture has an inbuilt phone charger, I reckon people will buy it. I reckon you could be right, but how long before you get the jack behind the back of the ear and you don't need a phone charge, you just plug it straight in. But most likely got the technology already, you know. How was wood bending done in the past? I mean, now with the contraptions I've seen, it seems industrialised, but I guess them soaked in wood and water for a few days before bending. Various ways. I've got a pipe bender over here that I'm in the process of making, and all it is, bit of 4-inch sewage pipe, and I blank the ends off. I cut a T-section in here, and then I have a 2-inch PVC pipe going into the top of a boiling urn. The timber goes in there, the steam goes in there, there's a vent, and I leave it in for an hour or 2 hours depending what it is I'm bending, and then bend it. And I think it was bent much the same way, just with water and steam, or you can leave timber in water for a long while to bend, and then you just bend it to whatever shape you want and let it dry out and it'll be maintained. I actually just put some I bent in the other shed for sides for a Appalachian dulcimer. So that's how they used to do it, and I'm sure they do it that way now. Oh, that's lovely, Doc. Terrific. It's good to get young people, and it's great to see girls coming on board and getting involved in woodwork, because I think it's such a I don't know, it involves so much of the senses, its touch, its feel, and for a long time I've had many ladies on chat and also on YouTube saying they virtually weren't allowed to do it when they were growing up because it wasn't ladylike, but hey, I reckon it's great. Get them involved, get them making stuff, and it doesn't matter where it goes. They're making things, they're using their imagination, you're getting skill sets out of it, there's hand and eye coordination, you get an eye for balance and detail when you're making something, so good stuff. Thanks, Tammy. Futurama iPhone. Is there one on Futurama? Well, there you go. Oh, thanks, Stern. I appreciate the host. Thank you so much.
Oh, someone hosting it. That's great.
I want to watch that show, Steve. Which show's that one, Wilson? I'm sorry I missed that. Buddy of mine made a banjo years ago that way. Yeah. I've got a mate that makes guitars. In fact, if you have a look at, I think it was either the stream I just did or the stream before I was talking about bending. What I'm doing, I'm going to get these streams and break them down and make shorter ones that are more subject specific. So I'll do the wood bending one and I'll whack that up on YouTube in the next week or so. So keep your eye open for that. Ray, yes, have you gone? Oh, you're off, mate. All right.
Oh, there you go.
You drive carefully. Have a great time. Don't forget about the planes. And we'll catch you up on Monday or Wednesday or whenever you're back. So thanks for your company, Ray.
See you, Raymondo.
Oh, the wood bending show. Yeah, as I said, Wilson, I'll get the bits out of the video and I'll put it together. There's another way you can bend wood using a butane torch and a 2-inch bit of water pipe, which I've got over there, which I won't climb over to Theo to get. But if you're making musical instruments, it works fine. Oh, you're only going for the day, mate. Okay. Safe trip anyway. Yeah, the woodworking channel it should come up on Nightbot. It's Woodworking Masterclass on YouTube. In fact, I should even give a tail wag from Bob. There you go. Just my little input. Yeah, well, depends what you class the carriage maker's plane as. This is the carriage maker's plane according to Stanley and record. This is a record, and it's an 010. And Stanleys have a 10 or a 10.5. And I presume Stanley record would have an 010.5 as well. Now, it's a carriage plane, but it's a full rebate plane. So it's like a bench plane, but the blade goes from side to side. So for when you're cutting some of those big joints out, I would imagine when they're building carriages.
Yeah.
If you look at
You can only use it on coachwood.
if you look at a normal plane, it's got where the blade comes, you've got these solid bits so it can't go right to the edge, whereas the rebate plane can. And even though I'm trying to ignore that clip that Theo just made, he's absolutely right. Coachwood in Australia is called coachwood because that is the timber that the Cobb & Co coach company used to make their coaches out of, because it is so resilient, and it was used for the chassis on the early MGs as well.
Oh.
So there you go, bit of trivia for
There
you.
you go.
But that's coach plane. I hope that answers your question. It's got a weird shaped blade too. So I hope that helped Rusty, did it? Oh, Mustang, Tammy, you're still a young girl. You can get in the shed and do whatever you like. Just learning how to, Smitty, is that as in a blacksmith's forge? That's what I would say it was, or is it at a combination machine or something? You want to know 10, Doc? Yeah, they're around. I haven't seen many, but they are around. Thanks for thoughtless dude. Appreciate the sub. And by the way, anyone on YouTube that's not YouTube, anyone on YouTube that subscribes, or anyone on Twitch that is following, subscribing, donating, anything like that, I really appreciate, and I thank you in advance or in arrears. The reason I don't acknowledge you straight away is because I don't get to see Twitch chat. I'm watching it through something else, although I can do this. I don't know if it's going to make any difference. So I can't see exactly what's going on in the Twitch room, but I thank you for everything you're doing, because it really makes it worthwhile to know you guys are out there and you enjoy what we're doing, and you're joining in of the fun of what we're doing, which is good. Yeah, Bob's gone, I don't know. Bob's gone too, mate. That ain't living. Good morning.
Hey.
My wife said good morning too. She got all excited the other day. She said, I've got another follower following me. That ain't living. And I said, he follows me too. Oh, and mate, you told her more about yourself than I know. So you sound like a really industrious fella. And good luck with those radios. I think that's an admirable thing to do, keeping that part of the old trade alive. Oh, thanks, Rusty. Good. Pleased. What am I building today? I'm sort of doing a coat rack. Theo's done a lid to, this beautiful, where are we? Lid to a sugar bowl that we lost the lid on. He's doing a chisel handle now. And I don't know what else he's got planned down the track. I made a knife block that I've just glued up, which is, can you just pass me?
This one?
Yeah, try not to knock them over, that'd be really handy. Done. I've just made one of those, which is a knife block. Oh, there you go. That you put your knives in the kitchen. And I'm working on a coat rack and just answering questions generally. So if you want to know anything, ask. Yeah, the 10.5, my business partner that I alluded to earlier, his father threw his brother off the roof. He had a 10.5. And oh, gee whiz, I wanted that, but no, he wasn't going to sell it. I think actually it's about the only plane I don't have is a 10.5. I've got I've got everything else from the 1 through to the 8 and what have you, but anyway. And I bought that one at an auction, believe it or not, at a funeral parlour. Be 20 years ago now. So they used to use them in the coffin making industry. It is interesting how that goes together. The funeral parlour was right next to the joinery works. So obviously they'd be making joinery work, and there was a section where they made the coffins. It was Piddington's in Armidale, if anyone's ever heard of that. It was a great auction. Freezing cold.
Steve, you got some glue?
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh, I want to glue the ferrule on.
Oh, you want super glue?
No, I want something with a bit more body than that, and that will do.
That's external cellies.
External jellies. Mustang Charlie.
Well, you enjoy work? Do you work nights or is it shift work, Wilson? Lovely to have you here. Look forward to having you. I'm on again on Monday, which is Sunday night for you. And Theo does one Wednesday morning in Australia, which is Thursday night.
Except this week it's going to be Tuesday because I'm off to a collaboration.
Okay, so he's going to be doing be Monday night for you, and I'll be doing Sunday night. So there you get 2 nights of us. It's like football, 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Scorpbot, you can see both Mixer and Twitch chats at once. Yeah, I understand that I'm actually on Restream, Thoughtless Doom, but I don't get the Streamlab notifications through OBS that I do when I'm just going straight to Twitch. That's why I'm doing it this way.
The notifications.
Bariska, love the accent. I've nearly lost my voice. I think I'm going to have to get a drink of water. Mate, can you grab the other glass?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, no, just give me a glass of soda water. That'll do.
See, that's starting to swell already. That's
It's
perfect.
croaky.
Oh, look at
that. Rusty on YouTube. It's all right. Excuse me. Go have a drink. Oh. Look at that. Look. Straight soda water. I'll tell you what.
that. Why you got it this?
The older I'm getting, the more boring I'm getting. Are you a turner, aren't you? I'll turn that into wine. Oh, dear, oh dear. All right, pop that in the fridge, thanks, mate. Rusty on YouTube says he's really enjoying what we're doing. He's currently out on his balcony at his bench working. Good stuff. Making your new tool chest. Oh, out of red gum. Oh, Australian cedar. Wonderful. I don't envy you working with red gum though. So is the red gum the carcass and the cedar going to be the drawers? Love to see some pictures. Send me a photo. Work in progress, mate. admin@woodworkingmasterclass.com.au. Work from midnight till oh, of course it is. I'm thinking the other way around. Noon to 9 p.m. Oh, still that's quite a hike. Well, get ready for work. Take it easy. Have a safe week, and look forward to catching you in the shed when you've got time to join us again, Wilson. Thank you for your company so far. All right. Now, where am I up to? Finish this.
I thought that was gonna. Woo, that was close.
What?
What? So that's sanded. I'm just going to apply a little bit of Triple E, even on this. Not holding on by much.
And this one, when I've finished it, I'm actually going to stain it brown using a stain called Van Dyke crystals. Which is crushed walnut husks.
Oh.
Yeah.
The thing I like about doing streams like this is sometimes, I know I do, I don't know if Theo does, but you think, oh, I'm going to be boring people because it's taking so long. But the reality is, we're doing this in real time, and it's not like reality TV where, you know, you get all the panic and the music and everything to build the mood. This is exactly how I work in the workshop anyway. Generally without Anthony standing there watching me. But that's all right, he knows he's welcome to come down whenever he wants. You want a drink?
Come in for a lie down, I don't know why. He comes in, he goes, he comes, he goes. Hello, someone else is coming? I
don't know. Can you pass me? No, I don't know where it is. Oh, no, I've got it here.
Oh.
Well, you go and see if Noe's in if you want.
I don't think he'd be.
So I just trimmed that off
We'd be chucking
in line with the ferrule, just much tidier.
I didn't want to go.
It's going to bring up the ribs. Hopefully I'm not going to blow this thing off. It's only holding on by about 1/4 of an inch.
You finished this one? What's that, Berserker? Watching you drink is making me very thirsty. I am very thirsty, that's why I was drinking it.
We should train Bob go down to the local coffee club and get us some coffees. A little satchel bag.
Can you imagine them being in one place, in one piece when we get back?
They'd be all shook up.
Yeah, they'd be all drunk.
Your cappuccino would be a latte. Oh.
I guarantee we wouldn't have any marshmallows, you'd eat them.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
Alright. Now I'm going to start carving these out. This one here. Actually, where's that water? Maybe it's there, we'll give it a spray. It's got a texture on it that's just done with a carving chisel, which I'm going to do, that's along the grain, and this one here I'm going to go across the grain but use the same carving chisel, but we'll get a different effect. Let me just make a bit of room on the bench here, and I'll spin that around. Roy, welcome back.
Where was he?
He had to clean up a mess that he made outdoors. Honestly, my shed is tidy in here, but you should see my yard. I've got timber flying everywhere. Job for this week, tidy up the timber shed. Got to get it tidy because when Terry Gordon, those of you who don't know Terry Gordon, who makes H&T Gordon Plains, is graciously accepted an invitation to come up and do a stream with me, not this Monday, but Monday week. And we're going to be making some furniture the way I don't think you've ever seen furniture made before. And I'm looking forward to it because I've never seen it. Well, I have, when we first were playing around with the idea. But I've got to have the timber shed tidy so we can get in there and get the timber that we want.
Just taking the sharp edge off this ferrule.
So when are we going to get the plane making video? Well, to answer your question, that ain't living. That'll be when Terry's up here. I doubt if he'll make the one I've already made, the documentary one, Mate, yes, I did say I was going to get it up this week, but unfortunately, I ended up in hospital on Wednesday. So this week has been cut short. So I'll see if I can get it happening by next week. Actually, I'll tell you what, it'll be really good. We'll do that when Terry's up here, I think. I'll run it when Terry's here. So you can actually watch us go out, get the timber, and watch Terry make a plane, and then the man himself will be here and you can ask him any questions. And he's also going to explain something about sharpening and plane angles, which I found very interesting. And listening to him explaining this particular thing with sharpening angles was the tipping factor, I suppose, to getting me, after 25 years of using primary and secondary bevels, to go back to a primary bevel only. So that's going to be interesting. He's going to share that with us as well. I loved it when my kids were young. They used to come here, and the bandsaw was their favourite place, Thoughtless Doom, because all those interesting shapes had come off in waste, and they'd build forts and race tracks, and yeah, it was great. It was good stuff. Max reckons it's another perfect piece of wood turning for you.
Oh.
Thanks, Berserker. And we got a follow. Thank you so much. What is the name of the
holding
plane?
the handle by the handle.
Well, that's a good thing to do. The plane I'm using at the moment, that one is called a router plane. If it's a wooden one, it's called an old wooden's tooth. Stanley, well, that's a 71.5 or 71. I think Paul Sellers called them cordless routers, which I thought was very clever. But that's what they are.
For the structures.
Yep. They apparently have battery routers now. I forget which brand, but
Really?
I did see. Yeah, it's scary stuff.
Saw a nice Husqvarna chainsaw the other day down at the wood show in
Well,
Melbourne.
that's just what you need, another chainsaw.
Yeah. Oh, did it work? The fellas from All Class Timbers had it.
Was that your drink I just pinched? Oh no, yours was
No.
there. Petrol or battery?
No, battery.
Battery.
Yeah. About 56 volts or something.
Sure.
That's some grunt.
So I hope that answers your question, Roy. Well, I hope we stick with you too. That would be good. I mean, Mixer's new. I'm just getting some chat here from Mixer, which
that's
is
nice.
Microsoft's new platform. And yeah, it's relatively new. So the more people we get involved in doing woodwork, the happier I think we're going to be anyway. Yeah, mate, I had, it was nothing, well, not life-threatening. I had an allergic reaction to something and they don't know what it was, and I was panicking it was timber. Crikey. So that's it. Yeah, who was watching that stream on Monday when I ate the Snickers bar? I actually think it might have been the peanuts in the Snickers bar, but it knocked me around for a few days, I'll tell you. So that's it. No Snickers bars. Mars bars are okay. I've eaten a few of those to test them out. Turkish Delight's all right, so I'm safe. But yeah, I'm just staying away from peanuts for a while. Mate, I got no intention to doing that, Doc. Doc says, don't you dare croak on us. I got too much timber out there I've got to use, yeah. Crikey. I've got plans, and literally I do. I've got, one of my goals is to start making a particular piece of furniture on my 80th birthday. Someone said to me, what if you don't finish it? Well, that wasn't the plan. The plan was to start it. I haven't got a finishing date on mine. Hey, Orte! Welcome to the workshop. He said, hi, Theo.
Hey!
There you go. Theo's busy. He's just finishing a file handle. Perfect pens. Did you sleep in, Tony? What's going on? Welcome to the workshop, mate. Okay.
G'day, Tony.
Now, what chisel am I going to use here? Oh, dear. I'm going to use this one.
Tony was going to try and live stream my show into the Woodturners. What are they called?
Ask me. I'm being nice. Oh, it's been a busy morning. Yeah, mate. Yeah, we were up at 7:30.
The Bayside Woodturners.
Oh, okay.
Bayside Woodturners and Woodcrafters. It's a great club
Oh,
in Brisbane. Great club because they do everything: pyrography, wood burning, box making. They've even got like a men's shed. They were the first.
all right. I'm just going to give you a close up of what I'm doing here. I'm thinking. So we haven't been playing around with camera angles today. It's been good.
The reason why it's a great club is because there's great people go there. That's what makes it great.
I'm not saying I'm mean. I'm being diplomatic.
No, everybody has a lot of fun.
There we go. Okay.
Lots of ladies attend as well. They do the wood burning and carving and
Okay. So this one, the previous one, I went along. This one, I'm going across the grain, and that's the chisel I'm using, which is a 810, which is 10 mil across the sweep, and a number 8 sweep. I don't know what that degree is, but anyway. Yeah,
That fits in the palm there, and your thumb goes right in there. You can see the profile for the thumb.
Is it a left-handed one?
Left-handed, yeah. It's
Oh, it's okay, because I'm left-handed. I can't use it if it's right-handed.
You take the that's why I made that shape just there. This fits in the palm, so you can push with it.
Yeah, oh.
Now, Steve, what glue do you usually put? I mean, I usually use like the araldite for dropping the file in.
No, I just generally jam them in.
Just jam it in?
Yeah.
You don't want to use just put some waterproof glue in?
No, just want to give it a whack. Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Oh, this.
No. So I've now finished the handle. Steve is going to show you how you put it together.
This is how you
It's
fit
a
a
raft.
handle.
You can handle the truth.
But the only thing when you do it this way, it's very important that you've got to say, Theo, going to make a loud noise. And you just start soft and then give it a real good whack. And that ain't coming out. But if you want to get it out, all you have to do on the end of your bench is just have the ferrule on the end of the bench, move it through a few times.
Oh, gee,
the fly will come out and poke you straight in the face.
If that would have got your TV, it would have been the end of that.
I think, but it doesn't matter. Where'd it go? Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Isn't that cool? So that's it. So, all right, if you want to do it, put your hand in front of it when you do that.
Ergonomically.
That's why I don't use glues, because if I wanted to, if I broke the file, I can take it out without any dramas. Well, sometimes you're using a rasp, and for whatever reason you want the handle off because you can't get to where you're going with the handle on it. But that's how you get them in. Give it a good whack, and that is beautiful. Make us champion. I love that. Look at that. That is.
Hang on, show them the one that was on there before.
No. You haven't shot at me. I'll give that. I reckon you can make a chisel hand. That's a pig sticker.
No, I could nearly make another. I could put that on the lathe and turn it.
Oh, I'm obsessed, man. I've got a huge shed next door.
Full of timber.
Go grab some of it. Oh dear. What do you want to have a go at those shaker thingos?
The shaker thingos, yeah.
Actually, that's almost like a blacksmith's. Not a blacksmith, a farrier's rasp, isn't it? For horses' hoofs. That's the one I use for.
Hang on, I can't see it.
That's the one I use for carpentry mostly. Actually, this is what I do use a lot. Oh, now I've got to go back and take this one off. Now let me go. What? That's not it. I've got so many windows open here. Here we go. There you go. These is what I used to use for rasp, and then when I started doing a bit of lutherie work, I got into using these, and they are just absolutely unbelievable. They're so fine. This one I'm very disappointed with. I actually bought it from the States, and when it arrived, it's got a big buckle in it, but It was going to cost too much to send back, so I thought, oh, I might as well keep it. But yeah, they're nice. They were a Dragon brand, and I got those through Stumac online. So that's nice, mate. Very good. Yeah, you want well,
Is it that leg over there that you want me to do? No. Oh, the little knobs.
Yeah, if you want, I'll do something.
Same size spigot.
No, whatever spigot you want. That's a 1/2 inch one.
Is that 1/2 inch? Oh, right, over here.
Yeah, I
Look
knew
at that.
Theo was coming, so I've
Steve's
got a 1/2
got
inch
me
spanner
sorted.
here.
Now, the trick with these is, if it's not 1/2 inch both sides, it is. No, it's 9/16 on this side.
9.
So there it says a 1/2 inch AF, which means something. Straight away, what you do is go and get your electrical tape. As I always say, electrical tape is my friend, I shall not want.
I'm just bringing a point in here. I did 4 of them, 5 of them on my lathe, and I didn't need electrical tape.
He didn't need electrical tape.
Perhaps it's
no.
because I'm being an old mechanic. I can look and go, oh, that's
Well,
1/2 inch, that's 9/16.
Yeah, you can tell the difference between that and, yeah.
Oh, I can.
And that way, I was going to say you can't go wrong, but you still can.
That way, if you do go wrong, you haven't got an excuse.
If I don't want to use something, I put red tape on that side. That's what I do. I put green. Look, have a look at this. You see these? This is called the T-bar, right? Now, what happens is it's just an Allen key, and there's no metal actually in this part. So what I've done is I put a magnet to this and found that the Allen key goes down through there, and I put the green tape. Hello.
Right, no, you're
I
right.
put the green tape, so that's where I push with my thumb. I don't push here because I have actually got a bit adventurous, or I might have dropped it or something, but I remember breaking one and then finding out that there's no metal in there. So a magnet will tell you which side has got the metal, and then you put your green tape in. Don't put red tape in, you get totally confused. You go, do I push
Oh, you get confused? I'm confused already.
Or you can use blue tape. Blue tape works too.
So that's mine. That's a blue Allen key, and it's just a blue Allen key.
Allen.
That's it. I was just.
You
Dear,
haven't helped me.
No,
You think
no, I'm just.
Oh, Steve, you know,
I'm just-
you know how sensitive I am.
I'm just trying to give you reassurance.
I was sensitive once. Oh, I have got a magnet. Look. Just looking for a magnet. Bring over that Allen key that you just showed, Steve. I just want to try something. What's he going to try, he says.
I was going to say, well, what would make you think there was metal in there anyway?
Well, there probably isn't. Sometimes there's metal on one side, but... Oh, hello.
And that's where the hole is.
No, yeah, that's the hole. There's metal there, and over here, there's hardly anything. So there's more metal on this side. There is an Allen key in there. There you go. You wouldn't have thunk it.
Oh, I wouldn't have worried about it.
So push on the hole, Steve.
The
It won't
thing
break
is,
anyway.
these things, they're geometrically designed. Do you know what geometrically is? So you can't put too much pressure on.
No.
It's when they have a big swing bar out there, and that's when you start getting into a bit of problems. It makes me laugh when people have got a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch set of sockets, and they've got a little Tommy bar. I've got one up there. A Tommy bar about that big, and then they'll swing another bar on the top of that and complain that they split their sockets. It's designed that way.
It's not designed that way yet.
No, that's it. Thanks for the cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Oh, we got
We got
cheers.
cheers.
Oh.
That's a good tip about getting that handle off. I didn't know that. And don't glue it.
There you go. That's it.
It makes sense because you keep your...
Yeah, Bob's a cool looking dog. Don't tell him though, because it goes to his head. Wood burning and high voltage is a lot of fun. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Friend of mine, what do you do?
Someone.
He used an arc welder to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just amazing. And some of the videos that are on YouTube where you see the electricity actually going through looks pretty awesome. And no, I'm not going to try it.
No, there's some guy in the US, I think, barbecued himself. It was very sad. Electrocuted himself, I should say.
Thanks for the cheers, Clement. Appreciate that. Don't know your own strength. Yeah, it's a lot of things when it's meant to be done up tight. In fact, I've got, oh no, it's in one of my cars, a torque wrench. I don't know if you've got, have you seen the thicknesses that have now got, all my thicknesses have got solid flat blades, but they've got the, what do they call, shear cut, little round tungsten blades, and they're held on with set screws. You right, Bob? And they're meant to be pulled down to a specific tension. And the tool that they give you is a screwdriver affair with a star socket in it. And you can't get too much tension on it, so that's the idea, you don't tighten them up too much. And I had a look at the manufacturer's specs, and it comes down to 50 inch ounces, I think it is, or something like that. So it's not very long at all. And somebody brought along a great big torque wrench and went to pull them down to 50 foot-pounds instead of inch pounds. And yeah, they're $10 each, and they broke a lot. So I've got a little torque wrench that there's hardly any pressure on it, but at least you know it's set to manufacturer's specifications. So don't try and make things do things that weren't designed to do. That goes for a lot of woodworking machinery too.
Steve, I can get 6 out of there.
6 what?
Oh, these. Is that what you want?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Yeah? You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you just go for it. Have a good time. What's that? Is that blush again? Yeah, that's blush. Is it blush? Yeah, it looks like it.
Green leaf tree wood.
That's it. So you're going to see a collab with you and Glenn? No, I don't think so, mate. No, but Glenn does a really good job on guitars. No, I don't think we'd get together on a collab for that. But I haven't heard from him. So, Gleno, if you're watching, mate, give us a buzz and we'll fix that guitar. What are you making, a Strat? He's made a couple of Strats in the past, and gee, they're good. Hey, Steve, you've got the good steel in Swedish steel for carving chisels. Yeah, these knives too, they're moray knives. They come from Sweden, and oh, they are absolutely fantastic.
That's a moray. He's ignoring me again.
I'm hoping it goes away. What if you only have yellow tape, Theo? There you go. He'd get blue texture and colour it blue.
You'll be totally confused.
Oh dear. Thanks, Clement. Appreciate that. Ghost 88. Can't believe you found. I can't believe you're watching. I think it's fantastic. Welcome to the workshop. Pull up some floor space. So thanks for joining in. Yeah, well, what sort of woodworking, Ghostly, do you want to learn? Furniture making, wood turning, boxes, outdoor furniture, DIY stuff. We cover it all. Been thinking about making a laid-back deck for street surf. Oh, a longboard deck for street surfing. Yeah. Oh, I can remember my first skateboard. I would have been about 14. It cost $10, and it was a Surfer Sam. And I'm sure if you look up on Google, there's pictures of Surfer Sam skateboards, and they had long ones, and that was classed as a long one in those days. But now, the real long boards they use with the big flex in them, yeah, make one. You can make one out of laminating, make some moulds up and get thin ply. I think the decks nowadays, they're generally using Canadian maple. But give it a try. All starting from furniture. Furniture's the way to go, Ghostly. I'm a furniture maker and Theo's a wood turner, so sometimes we do a joint one, which we talked about today. Theo's going to make some legs, not today, but it'll be later on. And then I'll make the stool for the legs, and we might make a shaker rocking chair. That's a big project down the track we'd like to do. But I also have another stream which I'll start soon, which is furniture making in another workshop, which is literally inside my house, in the corner of the house. in the corner of the bedroom in the house, sorry. So if you're limited for space or limited on tools, when I start streaming that, by all means join in. And if I can help with anything, drop me an email or ask me on a stream and I'll do my best to help you out. Which is the best furniture to start for beginners? Coffee tables, I think. Make a little coffee table or a side table because it's generally flat. And then as you get into it, you can explore different opportunities with the legs. You can start off just having square legs or rectangular legs. Then you can go for tapers on the legs. Then you can do cabriole legs. Then you can put a drawer in the table, which will involve dovetails and other aspects of furniture making. So yeah, start looking. I do have a coffee table on Mondays. I stream, which is 100% furniture, and I'm doing a coffee table there, which will have cabriole legs in it and claw and ball feet, which I'll show you how to do. And it's simple. It's just practice. If you break everything down into small portions and steps, as my grandson standing over there said, small steps, things are easy. And you don't need a huge shed full of gear like I've got up in the house. I don't have as much.
I wouldn't say that too loud, Steve.
What? You don't need all
My
the gear.
wife could be listening.
No. If you're a wood turner, you need heaps.
No, you're right, Steve. I know one of the greatest wood turners in the wood, Mike Lee from Hawaii. First rule of the shed: move the car out, because he just works in the back of a one single car garage. He just wheels all these. He's lathed and everything's on wheels, and he moves them all out and all these other gear. But first rule: move the car, and he does amazing work.
There we go. And this is just random what I'm doing here. Just scooping bits out, different lengths, different widths, different pressure. And it's not meant to represent anything, it's just given a textured surface. And where I... What's that done?
Also, Mum and know you're home.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to stay here if you want. Can you just shut that door too, though? That sliding door? That way Bob's bound to come in. Oh no, Bob's here. Bob's hiding under Theo's toolbox. Oh, I've ignored you. Sorry, I'll come back. What is the strangest project that I've ever had? Well, we've had some... Actually, Theo had a weird one the other day, didn't you? You had to make all those jam jar stands.
Oh yeah,
Little stands with things cut in them for jam jars.
little recesses for breakfast jams.
In hotels.
I've got to make a stand for a Pegasus sculpture.
Oh yeah.
It's a special trophy for the harness racing.
Flower stands. I've had to make some flower stands for a cathedral. That was quite different. I really don't know. I've done so many things. I can't remember all the jobs that I've done. But yeah, I've had some interesting ones.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I've got one at the moment that I think would be, I wouldn't say it was the bizarrest, because I've done a lot of funeral sort of furniture with commemorative plaques and urns for, you know, cremains and what have you.
Amazing.
But I'm doing one at the moment which is, it's a memorial board to someone who passed away, and it is actually 2 boards, husband and wife, and both boards actually have a Harley Davidson fuel tank on them. It came off a trike, and there were dual tanks, so the husband has one tank and the wife has the other tank, and then there's some boxes down the bottom, which I'll start building the boxes on the live stream on Monday very soon. I think I had a photo not long ago, a phone call not long ago, and said, how's that job going? So I better get into it, I suppose.
I just got a photo of this, Steve. Something I made a few weeks ago.
Oh, is that
It's the barrister's wig stand. Now that's made out of a house post from a Queenslander in Wavell Heights. It's red gum. It ended up getting some fine splits in it, but I said to the guy, take it, put your wig on it, leave it in the air conditioning for a month or 2, and see if it cracks any further, and then he's happy. It's quite stable. He was happy with it and fixed me up for it. But it's a nice little project. I made it out of one piece. Very unusual.
There you go. So there you go. It's amazing what you can do. That ain't living. Bought a table saw from a bloke that made himself popular doing furniture making in his second floor. But yeah, mine's 99.9% hand tools. I use a sander and a battery operated drill. That's the only power I use. I used to have a jigsaw, but I really wasn't impressed with the brand, and I wasn't impressed with the saw, so I don't use it.
Was it that box saw that you had? Is it the box saw you had?
No, not the Bosch one, the other one. No, the Bosch one's alright.
Yeah, because that's the one I use.
Yeah, that's
To
right.
make my saw and all that.
Can't wait to see the coffee table. You're 22. It's never too late to learn, believe me. Always learning. Never too late. Well, that's already been answered. Theo and I learn more. Are you just cutting those square?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Once I do it on the table, so no.
No.
Yeah, Theo and I learn so much when we do these streams because we're thinking on our feet. You people out there ask us questions that we might do stuff and we don't think while we do it, but when you say, what did you do that for? We actually have to think. So we're always learning. With furniture making, I push the boundaries every time, and I know Theo does. We come up with new things. How could you do that? How did they do that in the 1600s? There's still one box that came out of the Gallet factory in France in about 12, no, hang on, in the 1900s, I think. It was the Art Nouveau style, and it still got me beat how they did it. And that's the goal. It's a particular box, and I'm actually going to go and see my mate Jeff Hanna. He's just tapping the drums. That was all.
Yeah, I can't.
It's got a
Don't even know I'm doing it.
and see if he can tell me how it was done, because it's inlaid on a convex surface. That I know how to do, but how they did the carving that is around the inlay, it's got me. If anyone's got a copy of Silas Koff's book on marquetry, have a look at the box in the first couple of pages. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. So I want to learn how to do that. It's never too late. Yeah, listen to that ain't living. Don't listen to him. You want to do it, you do it. Stick with us, we'll get you doing, making something. Stick with the stream, Ghostly. We'll help you as much as we can. Yeah, add a day if you want. Email it to me at admin@woodworkingmasterclass.com.au. That's admin@woodworkingmasterclass.com.au, and I'll have a look at it.
Last cut.
Jesus, I was going to say, how many have you cut? Yeah, look, I think he's lucky too, but I don't think he knows he is yet. Just put your foot on the brake.
I've never had a bandsaw with a brake. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, mate, we do all sorts of weird stuff here, I tell you. Berserker reckons, yep, fuel tanks and wheat stands. That's a fairly broad Catholic approach to wood turning.
Oh.
Yeah. No, Max, that's not going to happen. Anthony, tell people a bit. No, I won't embarrass him. The first time he used a chisel.
Oh, can't.
No, see? There you go. It's all right, Al. That's true, Roy.
Here's something I made earlier.
Ba-ba-ba.
It's a toe ball cap. Every woodie should have one. I'm going to start a craze that's going to go throughout the world, that everybody's going to turn toe ball caps. Someone said, mate, that's a waste of a good piece of cedar. Someone will steal it. And I said, well, if someone steals it, that's a compliment for me. So I'll just make another one.
Make another one.
That's been on the car for about 2 years. 2 years. I've had it's been through 2 car washes, and I've just got Aussie oil on it. You can see it's a bit worse for wear, but I might put it on the lathe and give it a spin and tidy it up a bit.
I'm going to do a Theo here. Well, I think it's fairly safe. No, you wouldn't think it'd get stolen.
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't think it'd get stolen.
On your dad. Love the dad.
All right, let me spin this one around.
Nice bandsaw.
It is. It's a very nice bandsaw. I don't know what brand it is. I've forgotten.
Laguna.
Good on you. I'm going to have to talk to you later on.
What?
Otherwise, I didn't want to mention the name.
Yeah, you've got to take me a while to understand all that.
Yeah. It's like the average lathe that oh dear, we'll all be excommunicated.
Now, where's that spray bottle? Pretend to use sandpaper.
Now, I've got a little bit of tear out here, so what I'm going to do is just go slightly deeper where this tear out is. I don't know if you can see it. Where are we? Where my finger is, there's just little bits of tear out. So I'm just going to go down a little bit deeper with the carving chisel and take that out, and then all of a sudden that becomes a part of the design. And that's the beauty of this technique of texturing. If there are any blemishes or inconsistencies, you can just take them out and they fit into the design very nicely. And there, I don't think, where are we? This one here, yep. They all get taken out. So what I'm going to do, this one here is, as I said, along the grain. And this one's across the grain. So the next one's along the grain. And then we've got time, I'll actually drill the holes. And you got the spray bottle, mate? Can you get that?
It's popular, that water.
And see how the pegs look in there. And the reason I'm putting water in there is to hold it a lot better. See, Anthony knows that one. He's been around me long enough, haven't you, mate? Yep. Saturday. All right, mate. We're going to be streaming for about another half an hour. We only do 3 hours on Saturday.
Is the time gone by that quick?
Yeah, it's 11:30.
No way.
And I generally do a 4-hour one on Monday, and Theo does a 3-hour.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So it's Tuesday this week.
But it's each week. So we're there.
I come down for your one.
Yeah, Anthony has felt the joy of creating things with his hands, but I don't know. At the moment, he hasn't got the interest strong enough to take an interest in what he's doing.
We should send you down the bank to get some more interest.
That's it. I don't know which one I'm going to ban. One or the other. Yeah, well, it is a wooden cup. It's just he puts his toe ball in it. It looks quite good, actually, when it's all done.
Yeah, well, it's been 2 years on the back of the old Toyota.
Now,
Not listening if there's any glue in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is or not. It's got a split here, so I'm just going to put a bit of super glue on it. It's really annoying when you lose the tops to the super glue and then you put paper on it and the super glue sticks to paper. Here we go. Let's see if it's going to work. There we go. That'll be right.
This is the polish of Triple E. Myself a fresh cloth.
You have a lot of cloth in there.
I do. You can't have enough flannelette.
Okay, now I'm just going to put masking tape over that
So the glue doesn't spread.
to hold it down nice and firm. And I'll cut that edge off.
How fast is it going?
This one spins at 3,000.
Wow. 3,000 RPM.
So what I did to make this toe ball cap was just used a 2-inch. It was actually a 2-inch, not a 25mm, 2-inch drill bit, because your toe ball is 2 inches. And so what happens is, whenever you turn anything around, it goes slightly oval. So that's just enough for it to then, when you put it on the toe ball, there's a collar at the bottom, and it, because of that slight warping to oval, it actually clamps itself on. So I've done thousands of kilometres, and that's just sitting in there just by the mere flexibility in the wood.
What type of polish did you use on that?
That's Triple E. That's the Triple E. That's the polish. It's a cut and polish, really.
Oh, so yeah, if you couldn't get that car polish?
Well, you could use car polish, yeah.
Car polish?
It'll cut.
There you go, Ghostly, bit of car polish, give it a go.
It's the same thing, so it just takes it to another, like only sanded to 400 there.
Good morning, Trevor.
Is that Trevor
Bessie?
Yeah,
Just come on. How you going, mate?
He's got a new lathe.
Has he?
Oh, mate.
Better than yours.
What he did, I don't know what, he's in, must be in the good books with the Minister for Finance. We'll see it. Trevor's been turning a lot of pens. Now he's got no excuse for doing things a bit big, and he's got a.
I'm a Formula One fan.
Are you a Formula One fan, Ants?
No.
No, well there you go. Sorry, Monkey. No, he's not.
I'm a V8 fan.
Oh, he's a V8 fan. I don't think they have V8s over in States. I don't know. So I hope that answers your question, Ghostly. Just a bit of car polish will do. Berserker, thank you so much. We'll catch you later.
One of the reasons I chose cedar is because they make windows out of it, don't they? You silky oak.
Yeah,
another one.
You can see the view.
You can see the view. Yeah, that's why they make the windows, so you can see the view. He's got the bug. I've infested him.
No.
He can't stop himself.
Actually, no, that's not. A friend of mine.
Oh, you got a friend?
No, I did have. I said, what? His business, he made cedar windows.
Oh, okay.
And that was the name of his business, Cedar View.
Hey,
Cedar View Windows.
When I was the registrar of business names in a previous life, I came across this business. It was called William the Concreter. We came, we saw, we concreted. It was the best name, William the Concreter. Probably a note. I checked the name of the guy that was behind the business name, and his name wasn't William, but great business name. Cedar View.
Cedar View, that's
Very
it.
good. That's really punning.
Puns all day.
There we go. It's ready for another couple of years now. I will put a second.
So you're not doing Woodturning, you're doing car maintenance.
We're turning your car.
As Steve said, we didn't know what we were going to be doing today, but I think it's the better way to go. And when you do something like this, it opens up your mind to other possibilities.
What about a wooden radiator cap? There you go.
Yeah.
A radiator cap?
I took my car into the mechanic once. He says, "I've got some good news and bad news." I said, "What's the bad news?" No, what's the good news? He said, "Oh, your radiator cap's fine. We just have to jack it up and slip a new car under it." I said, "What's the bad news?" He said, "You're going to have to replace your radiator cap in 3 months." My old '66 Cortina.
I don't know, was that the one with the round taillights?
Yeah, that's the one.
They did a Lotus version of that, didn't they?
It had the noisiest starter motor. It sounded like bits of metal were flying everywhere. And it was automatic. I used to clutch start it at night. Stella used to live on a hill. And I didn't want to I'd park outside her house. I didn't want to start the car. So I'd go screaming down the hill and drop it into low and it would start.
A mate of mine, when we were in the army, we were down in Victorian snowfields, and he had one of those. And I was only just married, and he had a baby. Justin would have been down as she was 12 months old, and he had this old Cortina. I just bought a Subaru when the Subarus first came out, and we were going down to the snowfields, and he got a rock through the windscreen. What do you reckon the chances are on a Sunday afternoon in the snowfields in the 70s of finding a wrecking yard that was open that actually had a windscreen?
A windscreen for a...
And we found one.
Oh, you did?
But, they were rolled up because, you're driving down the road and the snow coming in. Dear. Now he's got a beautiful mobile home and travel in Australia.
This is where you have to remember which way to turn this knob. Because if you turn the knob the wrong way, you crack it. I did that with a box once.
Oh!
I'm just trying to remember. I think it's this way. Oh, God. Famous last words. That's the way.
If not, we'll have a quick one on how to make one from scratch.
Oh, I just dropped it.
Quick, get it before Bob gets it.
Look, there it is.
Bob's outside.
Just an old bit of cedar. And you saw what it was like when I bought it out. So I'm heading towards this collaboration. Next week they'll be very impressed.
His car needs a wash, but his toe ball cover's shiny.
Nice and shiny. That's good for another 2 years. Isn't it amazing how it comes up? Now that's been sitting in the weather outside. I don't even park it in the garage. It's rained. Like I say, it's been through a couple of car washes, but the cedar's still good. Incredible timber is just amazing, isn't it?
Australian cedar, yeah. It doesn't agree with me very well.
Yeah, you get an allergic reaction.
Well, just as well there wasn't any dust.
Yeah.
When I just sanded. Yeah, no, go and put that back on the car in a minute. Things you do.
It's all fun. This is good catching up. Got some more of that moulding to do on that cabinet that I'm making on Monday. I was going to do some of that today, but by the time I do this and start putting some pegs in, I don't think I'm going to have time, but who knows. There we go. Oh, Night Body's working. There you go. A Bathurst man. Good on you, mate. Who do you go, Ford or Holden?
Holden.
Oh, jeez, I tell you what, he's lucky he said that. So when I did my trade, you were either a Holden mechanic or a Ford mechanic.
Yeah.
I was a Holden mechanic.
I've got to say,
I don't know what my father is. I think he's a Ford.
I'm a Ford man.
I don't know what John knows. I don't know.
I went from the the Ford Cortina, the 66, and then I bought the 77 Ford Cortina, and then I bought the Ford Telstar, and then I bought...
Telstar, they were good.
Yeah.
They were good. Did you get the TX?
Then I got the Ford Falcon. Yeah, it was the TX.
All right.
The special button you push to tighten up the suspension.
Oh, they were good.
That
I've
can-
only had one Falcon. I had an
I was
XF. I bought an XF, that's it. But everything else has been Kingswoods. Never had a Commodore. A lot of Kingswoods, though.
Yeah, I was just about to start turning, but Anthony's in the firing line, so I suggest you put on some goggles.
Oh.
Some.
Did you see?
I think I know where my turning goggles are. Ones I used to wear when I was turning.
Could be up the orange ones. I'll go and get my orange one off my lathe.
Just wear some
Well, eye muffs.
eye muffs, yeah. Always have to be careful.
Steve, the tools that you have, is it possible you make them or buy them? If you bought them, can you still create a certain tool? Yeah, what sort of tool have you got in mind? Because sometimes, especially when I'm doing marquetry or, shut the door, marquetry or inlay work, I have to make special tools to do special jobs because you can't buy the tool that I need to make. And I'm also blessed because I've got some great friends that are tool makers. So, yeah, look at this. Did you see these? Did you see these? Camouflage. Look at that. Camouflaged eye muffs. Yeah, you can wear those if you like.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
Will those work? Will that set of goggles work with the muffs that I've got now?
No, these are G6s. You've got the normal ones.
Oh.
Which is the standard ones. Now, George did those for me to go with my apron. He sent me those last week. Very happy with that. Fat man with a limp! Welcome, mate! Welcome to the workshop! Welcome back! Hope you're doing well. We're just finishing off some jobs here. We haven't got long to go, but we still got a bit more to do. I hope you enjoy it whilst you're with us.
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to mark.
G'day, Steve. Hey, how are you, mate? Welcome to the workshop. Yeah, that the cup ghosty, that's actually not a cup. It's to go over his toe ball on the back of his 4x4.
You can see from the grease, it's been on my toe ball.
Basic tools. Look, honestly, you're better off, Ghostly, if you want to kick off, buy your basic tools, get them on eBay. You don't need new ones, just get good old ones. All those behind me have been bought. You can duck your head, mate. These chisels along here were made by a friend. These planes were made by another friend. And these squares were made by another friend. These are made by a friend. These all came from eBay. These all came from eBay. So
You got a lot of things on eBay.
yeah. All right. Can you go, please?
Yeah.
And get in that rack there.
Yeah.
There's a set of a box of porcelain bits. It's a brown box about that big. Got Columbia written on the top of it.
This one?
Let's have a look. Yep, that's it.
There you go, Pop.
I know where you got those.
Yeah, they're not metric.
Not
I wanted metric ones.
Half an inch.
exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So half an inch is equal to what?
12.
Yeah.
Half of 25.4.
It's not an exact 12 mil, so you've got to be careful. Oh, okay. So what I'm going to do here, now I've done that.
Is zoom this camera out.
Yep, do that. So now I've got the pattern going this way, and then it goes across the board, and then it goes that way again, and then the last one, which I'll do off camera, you Bob will come in as soon as you shut the door, will be going up and down.
Hey Bob! Oh.
So I've marked here where I want the pegs to go.
Where is he?
Excuse me, Bob.
And I'll just drill those and we'll put some pegs in.
I'm just taking just a nil off here. That's it. Oh, Bob. So the reason I've done that, now what I would normally do is, how are we going for time, Steve?
So that round thing up there with two arms that goes like that, it's called clock.
Pretty harmless.
We'll go.
Pretty harmless.
Is it time? Is it time?
Yeah, heaps of time, mate. I'm in no rush.
No. Well, I'll make a second one and then I'll.
Okay, you just move that over. You sit there.
So if I was doing a production run, I would make all these little spigots. What I plan on doing then is, I'm going to reverse that and put it in the chuck, and that will hold it so I can actually turn the whole creation without having to, and that will hold it a little even, and I can round off the end of that as well while I'm
move your camera up a bit.
Yeah. Whoop. So that's going to be held in the chuck, the little spigot there, and I'll be able to round off the end of the peg as well while that's because it's being held by the peg. So again, a little bit less sanding. But the reason why you would make all these spigots first is because the jaws here are open quite wide. If I want to then put that in, I've got to wind those jaws shut and then wind it back out to take another piece. So you're better off turning all of these first. So
and not only that, the reason I turn all my spigots first is because if you're doing a batch of them, your eye gets in, your body and your muscle memory's there, and you're just doing the same job over and over and over, and you get pretty good at it. Whereas if you go spigot, do this, do that, then go back, you've got to go back and remember how you did it. So if you can do a whole batch of things the same, one way. Sometimes if you've got a lot to do, it's good to have a break and do something else, because you get a bit bored otherwise. Yeah, that's meant to be half. Oh, that sounds a bit crunchy.
Yeah, that's because the piece of wood isn't exactly square and it's moving, and that's why you shouldn't really put a square piece of wood in a lathe, in a chuck, without the tailstock.
There you go.
That's why I turn a round spigot.
Alright, so these are Forstner bits. The other ones you can use spade bits, but you get a much cleaner cut if you use a Forstner bit. And that's what I'm going to use here. Normally I do this in a drill press, which is over there, but that means I've got to walk past Anthony, behind Theo, over Bob, and next door. So I'm just going to use the cordless drill.
Yep.
And I'll just go in straight up and down, keep it perpendicular. I don't want to come through the other side, so I know if I just go to the thickness of that head, it's going to be deep enough. In fact, I can go through a little bit more, so I might just wrap a bit of masking tape around here to set a depth stop for myself. Find the shortest one. And we'll just go to there. Tape is good for setting depth stops because you can see it and it's easy to remove. So that's all I've done. Oh, TV's gone off. Wait a minute. Oh, where's the remote?
Are you sure it's not that there?
Oh, that's it. Yep, there we go. They can see us, but we can't see them. There we can. So with that, I've got the shortest spigot here and made it. Let's just get rid of this so I can see what's going on. Made it the same depth as that spigot. And see how nicely it just goes in. It doesn't, if I'm using the spade bit, which is, I haven't got one here, they're over there, but it's a wide section with a point in the middle and two cutting points on the outside. As it spins, sometimes it gets off centre and it gives you horrible bits of tear out and what have you, but you can see those holes are quite nice and clean the way they've been cut.
What you looking for?
Yeah, the T-bar.
Is that the one with the tape on it or the one without the tape? It's got to have
This
tape
one's got
on
the
it.
blue tape. I'm totally confused now. And that's one thing. I've got blue tablecloths when I go to the wood shows, and the last thing you want is tools with blue on it. You put it down on the tablecloth and it just disappears amongst the shavings.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
So what am I turning? I'm turning pegs.
Oh, yeah, well, you want to have a look at that shaker picture.
Oh, I don't need to.
Oh, well, excuse
What's
me.
the picture?
Mr. Perfect Photographic Memory.
What's
So I never, when I'm turning anything, I never look at the picture because I never get anything close to what I'm turning. So I just turn it in my head and adjust as I go.
And then you draw the sketch afterwards and say,
Yeah.
I made it exactly the same as the sketch.
I lost the sketch. I lost the sketch before I started, but I just drew one up afterwards.
Never tell anybody what you're making until it's finished.
That's it.
Old wood turning adage.
Theo, you've tried sharpening one leg of an old spanner, and you can turn the spigot without using a parting tool.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, they're mine spanners. He's not sharpening them.
So what he's talking about is, see that this is the bottom one. You can actually
9/16 for the uninitiated.
yeah, that's 9/16. So what you do is you sharpen it. You just put it straight to the grindstone. Say that's the grindstone there. You put it straight to the grindstone and you sharpen it. You virtually end up creating a sharp edge just there. Then what you do is you tip this onto that point onto the wood and bring this down, and then eventually it'll slide
And they can't see
through.
you doing that.
You just they can't see you doing it.
No,
Then if Steve would let me near his grinder, actually I've got mine here. I could do it.
Oh, yeah, right on the torment. You'll all go and have
then
lunch
what
and come
happens
back.
is you use this to ride on the wood, and you bring the point in, and it will start scraping away, peeling away the timber because it's got a sharp edge there, and eventually it pushes and it just can't cut anymore once it's pushed through. It's perfect.
There you go.
Interesting.
Thanks, Ghostly. I'm pleased you dropped in, and we look forward and we will welcome you back to the workshop. Not a problem.
I've been planning on actually getting a full set, setting them all up, sharpening them all up.
You wouldn't do it on the torment, though, would you? You'd be there for every day.
No, I'll show you. It doesn't take long.
No, you bring me in one of yours and you can show me. On your torment too.
You got an old one?
No.
It doesn't take long.
Gee. It doesn't take long with a parting tool either.
These are hardened steel, I suppose, but at the end of the day, well, it's not mild steel, is it?
Be tool,
supposedly, just don't use them on your seat chromes. But yeah, it doesn't take long to get a sharp edge on that.
I think you're all wood butchers, you lot out there that want to mutilate my spanners. There, dink 'em. Anyway, where are we up to? Let's go.
So when I'm creating a curve, what I want to do is firstly start with the curve and just work in. And just keep working in until I achieve the curve that I want.
What tool is that, Theo? I've never seen one, I think.
Yeah, it's a spindle gouge that's been sharpened in the shape of a lady's fingernail. It's called a lady fingernail grind gouge.
Listen, you want to ask questions?
Yeah.
Go up to the house, turn the computer on, register for Twitch and ask us a question. Jump in the queue? What do you reckon? Hey?
Oh, wow,
There, Dick. Wait, you reckon you got privileges because you know us or something?
Yes.
Where's that?
Oh.
So now I've screwed those holes in. Just going to get the depth. They should all be pretty close. Okay, this one just needs a tad more out of it. Just take a little bit more out of
I was going to do that, but I think I'll make it a little bit more bulgy, a little bit more like a little bit more like a sphere knob. And I am getting a little bit of vibration there. That's because I haven't got the tail straightened up. So what I'm going to do is stop the lathe. Stop the lathe.
Did you move the tool rest then before stopping the lathe?
No, nearly. I caught myself.
Now, boys and girls, that is an exercise, and Theo did that on purpose so he could demonstrate what happens when you move the tail, the tool.
And wait till
rest.
the lathe actually stops.
I don't.
Now, watch what my finger does. My index finger is actually hiding under the wood, and it's steadying it to stop that vibration.
I'm just going to cut these off a little bit less than the depth of that hole.
Much better. Now what I can do,
I'm going to use a Japanese saw while Theo's doing what he's doing. This is multitasking, isn't it? And I'm not going, unlike Theo, I'm not going to put my thumb underneath this Japanese saw.
I thought you do that once.
Yeah, it doesn't favour your mate, does it? Oh dear, oh dear. And then we'll see how we go. We'll pop that in there. And it goes in quite
Look at this one.
nicely.
Hollow, live centre. Beautiful. There's no point in it. I get my coarsest sandpaper.
That's like arguing with my wife. There's no point in it.
No.
Don't you dare tell her that ain't living.
Oh yeah, because
There's a spy in there.
She watches she watches actually
Crafty old women.
yeah, Ninny.
What do you want, Bob?
Food. As usual.
You smell chocolate. I smell chocolate. Mmm.
I ate it, sorry.
Oh, Bob. No, not going to make. Oh, he's got caught on the lead. He's alright. There you go, mate. What's he doing? What's happening, mate? Hey?
He's coming in and said, "Go on, you got to stop streaming now. It's 12 o'clock."
Here he is. Oh, you can't see. There's been.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
Oh, that's love.
Boy, you want to lick me, don't you? He's got the biggest slobber there. Good boy. Good boy. Ah.
You tell him. Yeah, good.
Steve, I think he's looking for you too.
What do you want?
He wants a hug from you.
Oh, he wants food from me.
I think
It was funny, you know, the other day when I was crook,
Yeah.
he kept coming in because he's not used to me seeing, you know, banged up in bed. And he'd come in and he'd look at me and his paw was going up like this onto the bed. Oh, I said, what is that, mate? What, do you want a hug? And he jumped up on the bed, nestled into me, and I had my hand on his head stroking it, and as soon as I'd stop, he'd stick his nose under my hand and throw it up over his head again. And he slept with me that night. He's, oh, poor little bloke. Most likely thought no one else would feed him or something.
So this point here is a little bit sharp of this cup. So I'm just putting some double-sided sandpaper across there, and guess what? That's going to hold it and stop that vibration.
Well,
Good. My singing is... Stop it.
might just pull that down a little bit. A little bit tight. It's starting to look good. Best way to... Yeah, I think I'll just use a knife. This one, the spanner must have expanded when I made that spigot, or it was the first one. So I'm just going to just take a little bit off with a knife in a circular motion like this.
it's whittling.
Yeah, that's right. Anthony said it's whittling. It's only just a little bit, and you'll find you go around just taking just a little bit off, it'll fit in okay. So let's see. This hole here. Okay. Just right up near the shoulders. Better take it now. And then we'll be right. You can always see where it's needs to be taken back, because it'll actually shine up when you have the friction of two parts rubbing together. It will actually burnish where the wood's rubbing together, and therefore you know, okay, that's all. I have to clean that up and we'll be laughing. Ah! That's about it. So, there you go.
So I'm just rubbing my finger underneath there, and I can feel what's happening. There's a little bit of a ridge just there.
So when we finish, what do you mean what's this? What's this?
No.
It's a coat rack. Its dual purpose is an Anthony basher and a coat rack. So that's going to go up in the hallway of the house, and I can have me a Cooper up there, the dry as a bone, a raincoat and what have you, just before we go out the door. So I will always have a hat. If you're watching Phil, there you go, mate. It's a free plug. There's a Tormek hat hanging on there as well. But they are very, very easy to make. You don't have to go to this extent of carving it, but it doesn't take long to do. In fact, what I might do is I'll just run a bead down there. What have we got? No, I'll do that on Monday. I'll finish this off on Monday, and with the moulding plane, I'll run a bead and quirk down the top and the bottom, and then we'll drill the holes in both ends, and I'll show you how to use what it is that I'm using. What am I using?
Thingy-bobbity, doodle-wacky.
Walnut stuff. What is it called? Van Dyke crystals. That's it.
Yeah.
And you get this beautiful, beautiful brown stain colour. And if you don't like it, you can just wash it off with water. Whereas if you're using a spirit stain, whatever you've done, you're stuck with. There's not much you can do. So that was I actually did more today than I've done for a long time, haven't I?
Yep.
So,
Is this the shape you're looking for, Steve?
I don't know, give us a look. Can I get past this?
Sure.
You can say I want it a bit thinner there, or a bit thick
thinner
there.
Yeah, much thinner there.
Thinner there.
So that's the sort of. No, I reckon that's okay because what I want to do is hang the saws off it. So.
Oh, okay. You've got to go thinner
down,
there.
Yeah, thinner there. Yeah. No, it'll be QL.
Oh, you're going to hang the saws off it.
Yeah, that's because that's going to be that's going to be in the house, in the room for woodwork workshop. So what I actually did, I'm going to get this. I finished the coat. Well, I haven't finished, but I've half finished the coat rack, and we routed this out, which is actually when it's finished. It'll be finished on Monday. Is one of those, which is a knife block, and I hope I don't have to make any more ever again. I'm over them. But there you go.
How about a chopping board?
Chopping boards, I don't mind so much. Got some of those being made. And Theo made this big file handle for a rasp. What else did you do? I refurbished his toe ball knob.
Oh yeah. And then
toe ball cover.
There was the lid behind
and
it. Whatever you do, don't drop the bowl.
We did. Yeah. That's older than me.
Yeah.
Theo made a lid out of brush holder for a sugar container, which is pretty awesome. And now he's just doing some shaker knobs or shaker pegs for hanging on the walls.
What is shaker peg?
Same Jap saw. They're good, these, aren't they? That ain't living. I've got a lot of spare blades for it, but I use that one a lot. And I know Anthony from Lee Nelson, Australia, is going to try and get me off them, and we'll see how we go. What's what? Sorry, no? What's shaker peg?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what Theo's made. No, really go in there. Yeah, hook into it. Where's the picture? I didn't know. We'll find that later. Oh, where's my mouse? Here we go. Yeah, no, well, it's not arguing with your wife, really, is it? I mean, it's just you expressing a meaningless opinion. No, it's all good. I'm lucky because my wife streams as well. So she's got to be nice to me because if something goes wrong with OBS, I can help her out.
27 people watching.
No, we came up with Crafty Old Women because the lady that works with Sue sometimes, we were talking and it was going to be called the Noel Manners. And then I said, well, I was filming them because we were actually making a TV show. I said, oh, you're a couple of crafty old women. And she said, oh, we can't be that. That'll make us cows. I said, well, I wish you hadn't said that. And Crafty Old Women was born. So there you go.
Great.
I'll pass that on. Roy, where is he? Oh, he's asleep over near the door. Where would you get a Jap saw in Victoria, mate? I hate to say it, but Carbotech would have one. No, go and see Carol Wood Supplies. Go and ring up Jim and say Steve from Woodworking Masterclass said I should get a Japanese saw from you, or his lovely wife Irene, and mate, they will look after you. But out of those, yeah, that ain't living. No, Jap Tools Australia. Christian, I'm sorry. Yeah, ring Christian up. Japanese Tools Australia. He has the best Japanese tools. I've got one of his up in the in-house workshop, and he carries a lot of stuff. So thanks for that. That ain't living. Give him a go, Maxwell. The thing is, you want a cross cut, not a rip saw, and the cross cuts are very fine. This one, as with the one I've got from Japanese Tools Australia, you go like that, and you can just change the blades, and the blades, as you can tell, are extremely flexible and replaceable, which is good. Or this is a rip saw. It's still flexible, but not as flexible, and teeth are a lot meatier. But yeah, Japanese Tools Australia. Either that or Jim. But I'd give Christian a ring first. Hey, Noah.
Do you want to come over on YouTube?
No, thank you.
Oh, there you go. My other grandson's just come in, but he's shy. So what I'll do is I'll swing the camera around.
It's already dark.
There you go. Peace and well-being. And you have one word to describe yourself. What would it be?
Awesome.
There you go. I would have put money on that. Look at that. 2 peas in a pod.
It's not 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah, your brothers. Oh, that's nice. Brotherly love. All right, we're about to wind up, so you can stay if you like until we wind up. Up to you. Do what you want to do.
You've been winding me up all day.
Well, this is true. Clockwork. Clockwork Theo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds real. I think that one of mine, that ain't living, was about $60, and I think Japanese Tools are around the same money. But honestly, Japanese Tools, they've got the nicest hammers. I've got I think it's a 3-ounce bronze hammer, which is up in the in-house workshop, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really looking forward to starting streaming in the house again. It was going to be this coming week, but it won't be because I've got to upgrade the tower that I use to Windows 10, or else the Stream Decks don't work. And also I've got to get ready for Terry coming up. So that'll be it, I think. Yeah, JTA, they're the ones. Say good day to Christian. I've got a chopstick maker that I got from Christian beginning of the year, and I'm going to make some chopsticks for these accomplices next to me here. I love that. Anthony's in my workshop and Noah's in Theo's.
And now you got.
So there we go. All right. What, you want to show that one?
Rooms. Yeah, I'm not really impressed with it. I think I'll go back to the drawing board.
All right, we can do that.
We might sketch it first, just for a change.
Yeah, we'll see you Sunday, Clement. That's us. We're going to pull the pin too, mate. So thank you everyone for joining us. All the followers that have followed, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The cheers, the bits.
And to the Frenchman, au reservoir. Something like that.
Bon voyage.
Truly. The next joint stream I will be doing by myself. No, actually I will be too. Theo won't be here next Saturday, will you?
I won't. No, I'll be down in Newcastle with 30 other wood artists just creating mayhem.
Oh, isn't that what we do here? I don't know if I can handle it. You couldn't get 30 to create as much mayhem as you and I did.
Well, and there's some people, one of the guys is, he does welding and wire work and metal work, so we can combine metal work with woodwork and wood turning.
There you go.
It's
all
going to be fantastic. And that's where you learn so much from other people. The more you learn, the more there is to learn.
That's it. The more you know, the more you need to know.
That's it.
Yes, Theo, I'll take you down. There you go. You're the next weekend, you're fixed. Yep. That's it. You got the Xbox all to yourself.
Yeah,
that's it.
You know what you're going to do.
Thank you for everyone who's joined us in the workshop. I'll be going live on Sunday if you're north of the equator. If not, if you're in Australia, it'll be usual time, 9 o'clock Monday morning, where we're getting back into chessboards, cedar cabinets, this coat rack here, some other stuff I've got planned. And Theo, you're on
Tuesday morning. I'll be turning a fishing reel and something else, but I'm going to give 24 hours notice.
All right.
On Instagram and Facebook.
So there you go. Thank you one and all again for your attendance and your support. We really enjoy it. And have a great weekend if it's your weekend. Be safe whatever you do. Look forward to having you in the workshop and at the bench very, very soon. But in the meantime, this is Stephen, Theo, Anthony and Noah saying it's time to pull the shed down. And remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Enjoy your woodwork, be kind to each other, look after yourself, and if I can press the right button, I'll go out with style on this one. And